he grabs the huge hammer. The assistant orders the third criminal to be brought forward. Tsuyoshi's divine in half. As the beast's sword comes down, our boy raises the divine hammer just in time and blocks the powerful attack. Everyone gets shocked to see him stop Ryuga's strike so easily. The beast says the boy is lucky the hammer saved him this time but warns it won't protect him next time. Tsuyoshi tries again to explain he's not from this world, but the beast grabs him with one hand and throws him high into the sky, preparing to finish him with a powerful move called Earthquake Shaker. At that moment, our boy notices a new skill called Absolute Replication. It lets him sense an opponent's heart by touching them and choosing one skill to copy from all their abilities. Without hesitation, he leaps up and touches the beast's chest, to which the system quickly shows him many skills. As the huge beast prepares to strike again, our boy quickly chooses a skill from the list, called Heaven Shaker, which seems similar to the divine hammer's power. He uses it to attack the beast, leaving everyone stunned by the sudden blow. But when the dust settles, the beast stands unharmed and the system informs Tsuyoshi that, because he's only level 3, has no profession, and can't fully use a weapon yet, his attack did no damage. The beast now angrily charges at our hero to finish him off. But just before he strikes, the Beast King suddenly jumps in between them. A powerful blast shakes the area, and when the dust clears, everyone gets shocked as the Beast King is kneeling in front of the human boy. The king looks up at him calmly and says it seems the divine hammer has truly chosen him. He adds that this might be a sign from the gods and explains that in thousands of years, the boy is the first person ever to be chosen by the divine hammer. The Beast King then turns to his people and says that if this human is truly meant to lead the beast folk, they must give him time to grow. Ryuga protests, saying this boy is a human, but the Beast King asks him if the prophecy ever said that the chosen leader must be a beastman. Then the Beast King asks our hero his name and speaks to him kindly, saying that if he is willing to carry the future of the beast folk on his shoulders, they will set him free, but right now he is too weak. He tells him that within 1 year, he must grow stronger and return. Only then will they decide if he is worthy to be their leader. The Beast King uses magic to mark our boy's forehead and warns that if he doesn't come back in a year, they will use this mark to find him and kill him wherever he is. The boy accepts the king's terms and the beast girl, who was next in line for punishment, encourages him to become stronger and earn his freedom. When Tsuyoshi uses Divine Eye on her, he sees her level is 72, but he can't see her name. She tells him not to waste this miracle given by the gods. He agrees and realizes there's no time to hesitate. First, he must survive, then find a way back to his original world. He agrees to the king's offer, but asks one thing, that he wants the beast girl to come with him, as she might be helpful, to which the king agrees. After some time, he stands outside, looking at the ring he got from the well. He thinks about the mysterious voice he heard earlier, and realizes that everything started with this boundless ring. He feels confused, unsure how he will return to his original world. Just then, the beast girl comes to him, and by gently calling him master, She says the preparations are complete. She adds that she has decided to serve him because he saved her. Holding his hand softly, she asks if she can continue calling him master. The boy feels embarrassed as no one has ever spoken to him like this before, but he agrees with her. They begin walking together, and as our hero looks around, he realizes that this other world is beautiful in its own way. But suddenly, he remembers his sister waiting for him back home. At that moment, the system shows him a notification that the boundless passage is now available, and the cooldown is 24 hours. He understands that he was brought to this world passage. If he uses the same path, he should be able to return. With that thought, he commands the ring to open the boundless passage from the ring, and our hero disappears from there. In a flash, he gets transported back to his the same well where he was first pulled into the other world. He checks the system and gets surprised to see that the abilities he gained are still active here too, and also the divine hammer is safely stored in his inventory. The system informs him that his stats are shared between both worlds, but items are not. To use items in either world, they must be placed in the divine consciousness inventory ahead of time. As he's processing all of this, he suddenly hears his friends calling out to him, urging him to come out of the well before the cave closes. Looking at them, he feels confused as he has spent about 5 hours in the other world, yet it's no time has passed here. He realizes time must have been frozen while he was away. With the help of a rope, his friends pull him out of the well. As he climbs up, he wonders if time is in that other world now. Another question comes to his mind about who is the true owner of this boundless ring. Once he's out, he happily comments that the next awakening test is tomorrow, so he will go to test his new abilities. After returning from the cave, our hero starts remembering his sad past. He sees himself carrying his younger sister on his back, her legs badly injured, and they run through the heavy rain because a powerful monster is destroying the city behind them. While running, he suddenly starts crying to realize their parents are gone because of the destruction. At that moment, his uncle Nakazato appears and tells him to keep moving, otherwise the monster will kill both him and his sister, to which our boy agrees and keeps running. As he recalls these memories, he stands in a hospital beside his sister Karina. She asks if he really plans to retake the awakening since he just came back from work today. He assures her he's fine, and when he asks her, means that the nerve pain comes and goes because of nerve damage, so she must take her medication regularly. Our boy then uses his divine eye skill to examine her legs. He sees that both legs are about 98% damaged, with almost no chance of natural recovery. The chance she might walk again is only 1%. He thinks to himself that she should have been go to school, hang out with friends, and more. He decides that he will do whatever it takes to help her stand on her own again. He thinks that if he can become a hero, he might gain and warns everyone that the training will be strict, so anyone who isn't ready can leave now. While listening, our boy quietly thinks about the beast girl in the other world that once the Boundless Passage cooldown ends, he will return and check on her. Later, he returns home where the news is reporting about the recent earthquake in the city, but luckily, no injuries have been reported. At that moment, our boy notices the cooldown is over, so he activates the bound. Everything is just as it was before. Even his clothes have changed back to what he wore the first time he was gone from here. As he sits on the ground, lost in thought, the beast girl walks up to him and asks if something's wrong. He smiles and gently tells her he's fine, then asks her to lead the way as he wants to level up quickly. She agrees and says there's a level 3 goblin nest nearby where they can train. But she warns him that even though the goblins are only level 3, they're lecherous and dangerous in their own way. He agrees and they head toward the nest. When they arrive, he points out that she's level 72, so taking down goblins should be easy for her. Feeling surprised, she asks how he knows her level, and also explains that if she helps him fight, he won't gain any experience points. Even so, Tsuyoshi says he wants to see her skills in action, to which seeing her in action, he gets amazed and asks if she can teach him the technique she just used. She explains that it's called instant step slash right now, especially since he hasn't even chosen an occupation yet. The boy then says he'll become a warrior too, just like her. But in his heart, he knows that since he can't use the Divine King's hammer yet, he needs to find another weapon for now. Just then, the system notifies him that he has officially switched to the warrior occupation. The beast girl blushes, realizing he chose to become a warrior because of her. Holding his hand, she promises to help him level up, but says that first they'll need to gather some proper equipment. As they talk, a group of goblins appears nearby. Their combat power is 420, and our hero quickly realizes he'll have to fight them on his own. He borrows the girl's dagger and thinks to himself that it's a good chance to test out the power of Heaven Shaker. With that, he charges at the goblins and in a powerful slash, he defeats them instantly. Watching this, the beast girl gets amazed, and our hero confidently says he'll take care of the rest of the goblins with ease. He also thinks to himself that by the end of the night, he'll definitely reach level 4. The girl offers him a weapon, but instead, he picks up a goblin's wooden stick and says it'll work just fine for now. She reminds him that they need to hurry and get some basic equipment since he doesn't have any defensive stuff.
You're standing at the edge of an opportunity that has already changed thousands of
Inventory. Unlike normal storage, items placed in this special inventory can be used in both worlds. He notices there are only 2 slots right now. One is already taken by the Divine King's hammer. The number of slots will increase as he trains and grows stronger. While thinking about this, he stares at the girl, to which she feels confused and asks if there's something on her face. He just smiles and says he was checking to make sure she was still following him. Suddenly, she tells him to look ahead as there are more goblins, and they're level 4. She warns that the deeper they go, the stronger the goblins get, so he needs to stay alert. As she steps forward to attack, our hero realizes that stronger goblins mean more experience points. Without hesitation, he leaps at them, eager to fight by himself. With just one powerful strike, he defeats all the goblins instantly and comments that the higher the enemy's level, the more experience he gains. But he also notices his wooden stick is broken and too weak to keep using. The girl watches in shock as she can't believe he defeated them all using such a poor weapon. As they go deeper, the goblins grow in number and level, but Tsuyoshi's explosive power makes their numbers meaningless. While fighting, he thinks about how he never expected the bonuses in this world to be so big, and also he is leveling up much faster than before. After finishing off the last goblin, he remembers his time working as a cleaner, when heroes took all the good items and experience points. Now, he can keep all the experience for himself, and these monsters seem to give even more experience than before. Then they find a hiding spot near the goblin boss. The girl warns that the boss looks dangerous and says it has been possessed by darkness. Our boy feels uneasy to hear that this world has darkness too, and she explains that enemies possessed by darkness are extremely powerful. The boss is level 6, but with darkness possessing it, its strength grows exponentially. She adds that she will handle the goblin boss alone since it's dangerous, but our boy refuses and says that he will take it down with his own hands. He thinks about the ones who killed his parents and vows to kill them all. With courage, he leaps at the boss and kicks it hard in the head, but the boss easily throws him aside. The boss tries to attack with its huge tongue, but the girl quickly cuts it off with her dagger. Our hero stands up, thinking that anyone who is an enemy to his sister won't be allowed to kill him. He activates ultimate physique on his right hand and shouts that if he doesn't have a weapon, he will use his own body. With a powerful punch, he strikes the goblin boss, to which the boss shatters into pieces and gets defeated. At that moment, Tsuyoshi's level rises to 4, and he happily says that he will now wipe out all the darkness. Then the system alerts him that his right hand is badly injured and needs immediate treatment. The pain becomes overwhelming, and just as he's about to collapse, the beast girl catches him and gently assures him that she has medicine that will help. She applies the medicine to his injured hand, and after about an hour, our hero wakes up feeling feeling much better. His body has healed well, and the girl feels happy to see that the medicine worked. She tells him it's time to go collect their rewards, to which he agrees. When they arrive at the reward spot, the system notifies him that the rewards have been added. In front of them are 2 treasure chests, one normal and one dark. Our boy gets surprised to see such valuable loot. He opens the dark chest first, and the system announces that he has received the Dark Goblin set. He suddenly remembers that he has only 1 slot left in his Divine Consciousness inventory. Hoping for the best, he presses the yes button to store the set, and feels pleased when the entire set fits into that 1 slot. Then he turns to the girl and asks if she knows how to sew. She confirms, and says she's been sewing her own clothes since she was a child, and even has her sewing kit with her. Later, under a beautiful night sky, the girl sits beside him and sews a shirt for him. He watches her work and feels genuinely happy. Now that he has leveled up, he knows it's time to return to his original world. He tells her they should settle down for the night to rest and recover, and she agrees. Together they find a place to sleep. Sometime later, our hero returns to his own world, at the same place he was in before being transported. Feeling exhausted, he thinks back to how he and the girl found a quiet spot to stay, and how he had to wait for her to fall asleep before sneaking back here. Goblin set. When he presses the yes button, this displays the set's skill, Roaring Tentacles. When it will activate, this skill lets out a loud scream that stuns all low-grade enemies within earshot. Our boy smiles, excited by how useful the skill is, but then he realizes that there's a risk, as if other heroes see him in this rare outfit, he could attract trouble. Also, many heroes won't hesitate to kill others and steal their equipment. Realizing that, he presses the other button to make his clothes look normal again. He thinks to himself that he still has a few minutes before the meeting and should get something to eat. Suddenly, he receives a call from the nurse who tells him that some scary men are at the hospital, trying to take his sister Karina. They say she owes them money. Hearing this, our hero gets shocked and remembers borrowing money from those men, but he's confused why they're after his sister, as he's been paying them back every week, just like they agreed. Feeling angry, he rushes to the hospital to save his sister. At the hospital, the men are treating her badly. They say her brother borrowed money but didn't pay it back on time, so now they're taking her as part of the contract. One of the men thinks that they lent the money because the boss likes this girl, and because she could be sold for a good price on the black market. Karina insists her brother couldn't have signed such a contract, but the man says her brother's weekly payments barely cover the interest. As he grabs her face and speaks harshly, they suddenly hear the door burst open and notice that Tsuyoshi has arrived. The man asks why he looks so angry, saying everything is according to the contract. But when he says he doesn't need a sister like that, our hero suddenly punches the man hard in the face, knocking him backward. Seeing this, one of the bodyguards jumps at him to attack, but our boy punches the bodyguard's arm and breaks it on the spot. The senior man angrily says no one has ever dared to defy the Blue Snake team before, then pulls out a gun to shoot. When he fires, our hero calmly catches the bullet with his bare hand, to which his sister and the others get shocked. He says he's a hero now, so catching a bullet isn't difficult for him. At that moment, the nurse arrives with the police to help him and his sister, but when she comes in, she sees the thugs already begging the boy not to hurt them. They assure him that he can pay back all at once whenever he wants, but also warn that if he delays, their young boss, who is also a hero, won't stay quiet. They apologize for the trouble and quietly leave. They whisper among themselves, thinking their boss is a level 100 warrior while this boy is still just a trainee. They decide they'll have to report this to their boss and let him handle it. Meanwhile, our hero apologizes to his sister from behind, saying he wanted to visit her sooner, but has spent the past few days trying to figure out how to repay the money he owes the gang. She asks if he really became a hero, to which he confirms, but explains he's still just an intern. He'll only be officially recognized after completing today's mission in the cave. He recalls that he borrowed $60,000 from the Blue Snake gang to pay for his sister's treatment. If he tried to earn that money steadily, even as an official hero, it would take far too long. So he decides the only way is to sell all his hero gear. Later, he arrives at the entrance of the cave with a group of other trainees. Their trainer stands in front of them and says that today's mission will test their abilities to determine if they're ready to become full-fledged heroes. But he adds one strict rule that any hero equipment they find in the cave must be handed over to him. Hearing the trainer's words, Tsuyoshi recalls hearing something similar before, but he reassures himself that there's probably nothing valuable in a low-level cave anyway. The trainer then explains that as long as they follow his lead and obey instructions, they should have no problem passing the exam. However, in return for becoming official heroes, each trainee must pay him 20,000 yen. At this moment, our boy speaks up, asking why they have to pay when they're already handing over any equipment they find. The trainer simply says those are his rules and adds that if he is too poor to pay, he can register for the solo test instead. Hearing this, the other guys whisper that no intern has ever passed the solo test, and even top-ranked heroes avoid entering a cave alone. But Tsuyoshi calmly says he'll take the solo test, to which everyone gets surprised. He heads to the designated portal for the solo trial. One guy warns him that he's making a mistake and that no one has ever returned from this challenge. Still, our hero doesn't listen to him and steps inside without hesitation. On the other side, he finds himself standing in a beautiful forest. He looks around in surprise as he expected a dark, gloomy cave, but this place is bright and full of life, unlike the usual caves he's seen after heroes have cleared out the darkness. Then suddenly, a goblin attacks him from behind, but the hit does nothing. Without getting scared, strikes it hard, saying his combat power is 6,400, and a low-level goblin like this is no match for him. After defeating it, he notices his experience points only go up by 20. He realizes that this real-world training ground offers much less compared to the other world. Then he shouts a clear warning to all the goblins hiding nearby. No more sneak attacks and come at him all at once. In response, dozens of goblins leap down from the trees to swarm him. At that moment, our boy activates his Dark Goblin set. With a loud roar, he unleashes the Roaring Tentacle skill, to which all the goblins get slashed to pieces instantly, and the battle over in seconds. Meanwhile, outside the cave, the trainer checks the timer and thinks that it has been nearly an hour. Tsuyoshi must be dead by now. But to his shock, our hero suddenly steps out of the portal, alive and having completed the solo test. Meanwhile, Gaia steps out of the portal with the rest of the group and proudly claims that if it weren't for him, they would have all been dead long ago. He then demands 40,000 yen from each of them instead of the original 20,000, saying he saved their lives. Just then, he gets a call from the guy who was supervising Tsuyoshi. His expression changes to shock upon hearing that the boy has passed the solo test. Without wasting time, he rushes over to see for himself. He confronts Tsuyoshi and asks how he managed to clear the test, despite being only level 4. Our boy is calmly cleaning goblin blood off his clothes, and when the trainer suspiciously asks if he used high-grade gear, he simply comments that nothing is impossible, and maybe it's thanks to the 20,000 yen the trainer tried to charge him. Hearing this, the trainer angrily grabs his collar and demands an answer. But the boy mocks him again, pointing out that someone with only level 9 and 1d200 combat power doesn't seem very impressive for a guild trainer. Then the trainer throws a powerful punch at him, but our hero catches it with ease, to which the trainer gets stunned that this boy was able to stop his strike so effortlessly. He grows more suspicious, pulls out a dagger and demands him reveal what he's hiding. But when he tries to stab him, the dagger shatters on impact, completely broken by our hero's ultimate physique skill. Realizing this could expose his secret and draw unwanted attention, our boy quickly pretends to be terrified, acting like the dagger scared him. Just then, another official arrives and shows the trainer Tsuyoshi's identity verification, confirming that he is now a certified hero. Later that night, our boy returns home, and as he lies in bed, he reflects on how he started attracting attention, especially from Gaia. He also finds himself thinking about the beast girl still in the other world. At that moment, Gaia arrives at the building with another mage, intending to kill our hero and steal his equipment. The mage is level 10 with a combat power of 3,500, and he uses magic to try to break the door lock. But before he succeeds, our boy suddenly kicks the door open and smashes the mage in the head with a stick, using Heaven Shaker. He immediately senses the pressure as this mage is 6 levels above him, and it's clear the battle ahead won't be easy. He realizes that combat power is a useful way to gauge a hero's overall ability, but it's not everything, harder to deal with. He considers running from here is the best option. Just then, the mage stands back up and says he's impressed this boy reinforced the defense on his cloak, but warns that he'll kill him and steal everything he has. Activating fire magic on his cloak, the mage sends waves of heat toward our hero, making his body feel like it's burning. Realizing things are getting worse fast, the boy starts running. He leaps out the window, focusing his body enhancement skill into both legs. With the Dark Goblin set's defensive boost, he believes he can absorb the landing impact. But just as he prepares to land, a third attacker with level 12 and 3,900 combat power strikes him midair and slams him into the ground. Luckily, our hero had already reactivated his full body enhancement just before impact, so he takes minimal damage. As he stands back up, the new enemy jumps down after him, surprised to see that this boy is still alive. Just then, Gaia and the mage arrive at the scene. Seeing all three of them ready to kill him and steal his gear, our hero makes up his mind that if they're coming to kill him, he's ready to do the same. He activates the Dark Goblin set and tries to unleash his roaring tentacle skill, but to his surprise, the skill fails as his level is too low to use it right now. The three attackers charge at him, aiming to finish him off and take everything he has. But at that moment, he realizes the cooldown on the Boundless Ring has ended, and he can now return to the other world. Without wasting a second, he opens the path of Boundless. Just before the enemies reach him, he vanishes through the portal. As he disappears, he declares that he'll return stronger, and that's when the real fight will begin. Moments later, he finds himself back in the Beast World, at the exact spot where he first left. Looking around, he thinks to himself that now is the time to level up and master new skills. He sees the Beast Girl still peacefully sleeping and realizes it's still nighttime here, so he quietly decides to rest for now, before the real journey begins. As he notices she smells like cherry blossoms, he feels a sense of romance for a moment. But then, the memory of the three men hunting him flashes back into his mind. He quickly reminds himself that he must first deal with the crisis in his original world. Before anything else, he needs to focus on leveling up and learning new skills. The next morning, the Beast Girl
Who are you loyal?
says it was the best sleep she's had in a long time. Meanwhile, our boy hasn't slept at all as his mind was too restless. He gently asks her if she can sew him a new set of clothes, saying they'll move out soon after. She agrees, and as they talk, she explains that to learn skills, he needs skill scrolls, and the fastest way is to study at the Combat Academy. Together, they head to a small combat academy in the Beastman tribe. An old Beastman greets them and asks if he is the human the Beast King is interested in. He then lays out the conditions for enrollment that he must first reach level 6 and then pass an entrance exam. Hearing this, our hero feels a bit discouraged. The Beast Girl looks guilty and apologizes, saying she spent so much training in the caves that she didn't know about these requirements. He reassures her, saying it's fine as he just needs to level up first and he'll come back later. She then tells him that there's a nearby low-level cave perfect for training and gaining experience. As they both walk away, the old Beastman mutters that if the Beast King weren't interested in this boy, he would have torn him apart right here. He also makes harsh remarks about the Beast Girl. Hearing this, she feels guilty, thinking it's her fault her master is facing all this trouble. She decides to tell him the whole truth and quietly leave. But our hero suddenly turns back, and by grabbing the old Beastman by the collar, he warns him that if he ever speaks like that again, he'll tear his mouth apart. He demands the old man apologize to the Beast Girl immediately. The old Beastman says he's just stating facts as the girl is a hybrid of human and beast, which is why she doesn't have a proper name. Then Tsuyoshi realizes why her name didn't appear when he looked at her with his divine eye earlier. At that moment, several Beastmen aim their arrows at him, and the old Beastman warns him not to get arrogant just because the Beast King has shown interest. He adds that if he disrespects a Beastman warrior, he will be met with equal force. Then the old Beastman offers that if the boy passes the exam, he will apologize to the Beast Girl. But he also adds that a mere human like him probably can't succeed. At that moment, the Beast Girl tells Tsuyoshi there's no need to get involved on her behalf, but the boy surprises her by giving her a name, Sakura. He then tells the old Beastman to remember that he owes Sakura an apology once he passes the exam. With that, they both leave for the level up, and she tells him they should hunt fox beastmen, which are rare, to which he agrees. She gently asks why he gave her that name, and our hero explains that she always carries a faint scent of cherry blossoms, so the name seemed perfect. Hearing this, she hugs him and thanks him for his kindness, making him blush. They enter the cave and she asks how the dagger she gave him feels. He says he's satisfied with it as it's not top tier gear but much stronger than a goblin stick. Suddenly they spot the fox beastmen approaching who are at level 5 with 720 combat power. He tells her to stay back and guide him as usual because he wants to gain the experience on his own, so she doesn't need to interfere. She agrees and steps back as our hero charges toward the fox beastmen, eager to test out his new dagger. She reminds him that the fox beastmen are quick and warns him to avoid using wide swings. As the battle begins, our boy quickly notices how fast they are, but once he activates his ultimate physique, the fox beastmen are caught off guard, and he says that with their level and combat power, they can't even put a scratch on him. He slashes with full force, instantly taking down 3 of them. Watching them fall, he thinks to himself that leveling up in this world is much faster. 6. And when he does, he'll make that old beastman bow his head and apologize to her. As they move deeper into the cave, they spot the dark fox beastman boss roaming ahead. It's a level 7 enemy, carrying a massive sword that immediately catches our hero's attention. The size and power of the weapon look like a perfect drop rate depends on the item's rarity. She adds that it's best to keep hunting until they get what they focuses on the boss, and his system brings up the details that the sword is called Black Cold Light, and its drop rate is only 6%. But then the system shows a scroll, which can boost the drop rate of an item. He sees that he has enough to trade for 3 of those scrolls. Each one boosts the drop rate by 30%, and using all 3 together would raise the chance to 96%. He excitedly pulls the scrolls from his system, having met the conditions, and tells the girl to let's get that sword as it's going to make him even stronger. He grips the dagger and asks her for directions as he leaps toward the dark fox beastman boss. The boss swings its massive sword in a powerful slash, but our hero dodges just in time, and he also senses the sword's cold effect. It warns him that the boss isn't just fast, it's also very strong. The sword is infused with ice magic, which will slow him down and drain his stamina if it lands a hit. She tells him to focus on exploiting the boss's weaknesses and finish the fight quickly. She adds that the dark fox beastman fears fire, so coating the dagger with flame oil will help. Our hero quickly applies the oil and sets the blade aflame before launching another attack. She points out the boss's weak spots, its armpits and neck. Our hero spots an opening and strikes its arm hard, to which the boss feels pain. His system notifies him that hitting a weak point causes the enemy's status to cowardice, which doubles the damage they take. Feeling encouraged, he prepares for another strike, and the girl advises him that enemies in this state reveal their weak points more clearly, but warns him to stay alert and dodge carefully while looking for the next chance to attack. As our hero leaps at the boss, it tries to strike him, but thanks to Sakura's earlier advice, he dodges the attack just in time. He notices the boss is starting to look tired, and this is his chance. Focusing his ultimate physique into his arms, he delivers a powerful slash to the boss's neck, causing massive damage. Without wasting a moment, he follows up with a final blow, driving the dagger into its head, to which the Dark Fox Beast boss gets fully defeated. Then our boy quickly uses the drop scrolls before the loot appears. The sword's drop rate jumps to 96%, and moments later he's thrilled to see the Black Cold Light sword drop, along with a large gain in experience points. He picks up the sword and feels amazed as he has never held a weapon that feels this powerful. He thinks to himself that with this blade, he might actually be able to defeat the 3 enemies waiting for him in his original world. He reminds himself that reaching level 6 is his next goal, not just for his own strength, but also for Sakura's sake. He turns to her and asks if there's a fast way to level up. She assures him that it's simple as they can use a reset scroll to reset the cave and fight through it again. She adds that she has a few helpful items that can speed up the process, including healing potions. But first, they'll need to take a short break to recover. They both sit outside the cave while she uses the reset scroll, restoring the cave to its original state. Our hero steps back inside, this time holding the Black Cold Light sword to face the enemies. As he defeats the regular Fox Beastmen, the girl explains that some weapons have special effects, and their power can vary. She's confident he'll find even better gear as they continue. He thinks that he also has the Divine King's hammer in his inventory, but even with his ultimate physique, he can only hold it for about a second before it becomes too much. He enters the boss room again and notes that he's reached level 5 by defeating the boss's minions. Now it's time to take down the boss once more. Using the reset scroll, he repeats this process 6 more times, resetting the cave, battling the minions, and defeating the boss. After the 6th victory, he finally levels up to level 6, with his combat power rising to 8,800. After all that, he comments that he's replenished his stamina 6 times from morning until night, and must have collected a full set of Fox Beastman gear by now. Meanwhile, at the Combat Academy, the old Beastman sits with a friend, saying that no mere human can reach level 6 in their land so quickly. Suddenly our hero walks in wearing the Fox Beastman armor. He calls out the 2 men, telling them they doubt he can reach level 6, but he's already there. The 2 old men get stunned that he's leveled up twice in just one day. Our hero then demands they wake the examiner immediately, saying he won't wait until tomorrow. He also orders the old beastmen to prepare to apologize to Sakura. The beastmen then bring out the examiner, who grumbles that he was just about to go to sleep. He warns them that if they waste his time, there will be consequences. Our hero steps forward and confidently states that he meets all the requirements. He demands to begin the trial immediately, and also mentions that he wants to choose a skill from the skill vault. In every combat academy, skill scrolls are stored in a special vault, and anyone who passes the trial is allowed to select one. The examiner comments that the boy is talking too much, but when one of the others whispers in his ear that this boy leveled up twice in less than a day, the examiner gets shocked. Then he says he doesn't know what kind of trick the boy pulled, but it is fine, and now they'll proceed. Still, he adds that the idea of a mere human passing a trial meant for beastmen is laughable. Soon, the priest commander of the academy steps forward to begin the trial. He explains that the beastmen are a race built on strength, so physical power is the main requirement for passing. He then reveals a large stone slab and tells our hero that if he can crack it with a single punch, he will pass the trial and earn the right to access the Beastman Academy's skill vault. The 2 other Beastmen White and Spirits use it to craft weapons. The commander steps forward and demonstrates, and because he is confident of his ultimate physique, he decides to fine-tune his enhancement to increase the power and impact of his right fist. Activating ultimate physique at 50%, he delivers a powerful punch, to which the stone slab shatters instantly into pieces, and the Beastmen get totally shocked. Our boy remarks that he used a lot of force, but it wasn't too difficult. The Beast Girl tells him that he can now access the skill vault, but when he asks the commander if he's passed, the commander rejects by claiming the cracks were caused by his own earlier demonstration, so breaking the slab doesn't count, meaning Tsuyoshi borrowed the Beastman's power rather than proving his own strength. The commander continues the test, saying the next trial is the iron bar bending challenge, one of their traditional strength tests. The goal is simple, as he has to bend an extremely tough iron bar using only brute force. Our hero activates ultimate physique at 50%, easily bends the bar as if it was nothing. The commander gets stunned, but still refuses to acknowledge his success. He declares they'll now use the most primitive method, arm wrestling, where if the boy can last 10 seconds against their strongest warrior, he'll be considered to have passed. Our hero agrees without hesitation, and when the strongest warrior steps forward, he activates ultimate physique at 70% and defeats him instantly, to which the commander gets speechless. Then our boy states that he has completed all 3 trials and passed, and the surrounding beastmen agree. He then turns to the old beastman and reminds him of his promise to apologize to Sakura. The old beastman steps forward and offers a quiet apology for the harsh words he spoke. She looks uncomfortable and tells him there's no need to apologize, but our boy gently tells her to accept it, to which she follows the instructions. They then make their way to the entrance of the skill vault. The commander informs him that, according to academy rules, he may only select 1 skill scroll each time he enters. He explains that once the boy enters the vault, he'll have only 3 minutes to choose a skill scroll. If he breaks the seal on a scroll within that time, the skill becomes his. But if time runs out before he chooses, the rules will forcefully expel him, and he won't be allowed to enter again for some time. Seeing Tsuyoshi's confusion about the seal, the commander adds that the Combat Academy is a prestigious institution representing the entire region. To protect the vault, high-level sorcerers and mages have placed magical seals and barriers around the scrolls. The Beast Girl also says she's heard that higher-level academies have even stricter conditions. With that, our hero and the girl enter the vault. As they look around, he gets amazed and finally understands why they needed so many magical protections, as there are countless skill scrolls inside. She admits this is her first time seeing the vault too, and notes that each scroll is sealed, so she can't tell what any of them are. While scanning the scrolls, our boy considers using absolute duplication, but finding a truly powerful skill proves difficult. He then recalls the three enemies waiting for him in his original world, and realizes that he needs to pick a skill strong enough to deal with them. He activates his ability on a scroll, revealing the skill Shield Slam, but he quickly dismisses it as he doesn't even use a shield. She also shows him another scroll called Gale Step, a skill used by archers, but he's not interested. He glances at the timer, only 2 minutes left, and still hasn't found anything useful. She then shows him a scroll with a counterattack skill, but he rejects that too. As he checks more scrolls, the time drops to just 1 minute. He realizes he can only see inside the scrolls by breaking their seals, but that will take serious force. He asks the girl if she has stamina and energy potions, since he might need them soon. He tells her to hide behind something sturdy, to which she agrees. He then activates a powerful ability in his hand, releasing intense blue energy that surprises even the beastman outside. Actually, he's pulling out the Divine King's hammer, an incredibly strong weapon he can only hold for 1 second at his current level, but 1 second is all he needs. As he grips the Divine King's hammer, Sakura gets surprised and thinks that she wouldn't have believed it if she hadn't seen it herself. Then he slams the hammer onto the ground, declaring that he will break all the seals on the scrolls at once. The entire vault shakes violently as the powerful impact shatters the seals on every scroll, and the beast girl gets stunned by the sheer force of it. The hammer then deactivates, and our hero feels a sharp pain in his hand. Suddenly, information from all the scrolls floods into his mind all at once. She grows worried, fearing that his brain won't be able to handle so much data at once, and the same thing happens that our boy's head starts shaking as he struggles to process it. He commands the scrolls to show him only the strongest skill that suits him best, to which suddenly he sees a scroll crackling with lightning. With just 30 seconds left, he quickly tells the girl where the scroll is and orders her to bring it to him. She agrees and uses her ability to leap swiftly to the scroll. When she looks at it, she feels something's off as it's a fragmented scroll. She brings it back to him and asks if he's sure he wants to take it. She warns that there isn't much time left, to which he quickly grabs her and activates his strongest body skill, boosting his legs power by 50%. He sprints toward the exit. Meanwhile, the examiner notes that only 5 seconds remain and remarks to the hero that the skill can be leveled up by gathering the remaining fragments. The examiner then shares something he once heard from the previous generation, that in the past 1,000 years, almost no one has dared to learn this fragmented skill. There are 2 main reasons. First, the complete skill is split into 6 volumes, but only 3 have ever been found, making the search for the rest nearly impossible in such a vast world. Second, every beastman who has tried to master the skill has died from its backlash. As they leveled it up, their bodies couldn't handle the power and exploded in horrific ways. Hearing this, the hero feels a bit disheartened and asks if anyone has ever fully mastered the skill. The commander replies that there was one, about 1,000 years ago. He was known as the strongest beastman king, the Divine King, and he had completely mastered the Thunder Chain skill. The commander adds that the Divine King also wielded their sacred artifact, the Divine King's hammer. Thunder Chain was the only skill the king left behind. But he warns that no matter how powerful a skill is, it's useless if no one can control it. Just like a legendary weapon is worthless in the hands of someone who can't wield it properly. He says that although this skill came from the great Divine King, very few believe it still exists, since no one has been able to master it for 1,000 years. The hero listens quietly and then says the skill might actually be perfect for him. Then he and the beast girl begin to move forward, and the commander comments that this fragment is just the beginning. Whether the hero finds the remaining pieces and fully learns the skill depends on his own strength and luck. Then, the commander turns to the beast girl with a serious look and asks if she is the one marked for execution by divine punishment next. He questions how she can do this to a fellow beastman and says that the human boy probably still doesn't know her true identity. He also asks if she plans to sacrifice him too. She stops the commander, signaling him not to say more, and then she moves on with Tsuyoshi. The next morning, they are in an inn where our hero drinks a healing potion and comments that it works incredibly well, even though the taste is terrible. He also mentions that she has been acting strange since they returned, but she assures him she's just a little tired. He asks if her background is the reason she was also marked for execution. She quickly changes the subject and asks if he has studied the remaining scroll. Our boy says he memorized it earlier, and that the old beastman said some strange things, but the skill seems perfect for him. He thinks the Thunder Chain skill needs a strong body, which suits him well since he has the strongest physique. He can't wait to see what the skill will do once he collects all the fragments. The girl gets ready and asks if they should leave now since it's a beautiful day, perfect world. He now knows how to deal with those 3 men waiting for him. In an instant, he returns to his original world, right in the middle of the ambush. The 3 attackers are still charging at him. He quickly assesses the situation and thinks that to activate his new skill, he needs a weapon. Thankfully, he has access to his divine consciousness inventory, so he pulls out the black freezing flash sword, stunning all 3 men. They mutter that this boy must be hiding something powerful, but once they kill him, they'll loot everything. Our hero raises the sword to the sky by declaring that they were the ones who started the fight, and then activates the sword's ability along with his new skill, Thunder Chain. The ground beneath him trembles as a surge of powerful energy radiates from the blade. A blinding bolt of lightning crashes down from the sky and strikes the 3 men directly. They scream in pain, their bodies paralyzed by the electric shock, to which they fall on their knees. The mage realizes that they completely underestimated this boy as he is nothing like before. One of the men begs for mercy, but our hero shows none, and with a swift slash, he strikes the man's neck and kills him on the spot. Seeing this, Gaia warns him that they are members of the crazy wolf gang, but the boy doesn't respond, and without hesitation, he cuts Gaia down as well. The mage grows fearful as the hero approaches to finish him off. him off, but he throws an adhesive blast fruit, a magical explosive, right at the boy. When it hits, the fruit detonates with a powerful blast. The mage grins proudly, boasting that he spent a fortune on these fruits. Even a level 12 hero would take damage from them, and for a level 10 the explosion is strong enough to shatter their body into pieces. But to his shock, our hero emerges from the smoke unharmed as he had activated his ultimate physique and the dark goblin set just in time, protecting himself from the blast. Without hesitation, he leaps forward and delivers a powerful punch, to which the mage crashes backward and dies instantly. After finishing them all, our boy prepares to move on, but suddenly notices a little bag is placed on the mage's chest. He curiously picks it up and finds a dimensional ring inside, to which he gets pleased as the loot is valuable. The system explains how to use the dimensional ring by infusing mana into it. He wears the ring onto his finger and remarks that a normal hero wouldn't even get their hands on such a rare item. Besides its high price, dimensional rings are almost impossible to find on the market. He channels some mana into the ring, activating it, and gets surprised when it responds immediately. Soon after, the hero's security forces arrive at the scene where our boy has defeated the 3 men and begin inspecting the area. But Tsuyoshi had already left quietly and erased all traces of himself from the spot, feeling safe for now. He also finds a smartphone from Gaia, and when he enters his information code, the phone rings. It's a call from his school teacher, Lily. She tells him she's noticed he hasn't come to school even though winter break ended over a week ago. She understands that he wants to leave school for his sister's sake and because of financial troubles, but she insists she doesn't want any of her students to quit studying like this. He thanks her and admits that money isn't the real problem, as she already knows he's been afraid of being bullied. The teacher encourages him to be brave and promises to pay his tuition fees if he comes back to school tomorrow. He thinks that the teacher doesn't know he's become a hero now, but realizes she's the only person who truly cares about him. He remembers how he thought he didn't want to go back to school because there were no good memories there, but after talking with her, he feels ready to return tomorrow. As a hero, he also vows to make those bullies pay for what they did. Meanwhile, the leader of the Crazy Wolf gang sits in his office. When he hears that his 3 men were killed and their loot, including the dimensional ring, has been stolen, he gets angry. But he reveals that he had already placed a tracker on the ring, so he knows exactly where the thief is. He orders his men to bring the thief to him, to which all the men agree. The next day, our boy arrives at school with his sister Karina, who walks slowly using leg braces and canes. He gently tells her not to rush and take her time. Ever since she found out he was returning to school, she insisted on coming along. Using a wheelchair is much harder for her, so he's relieved he managed to buy these newly developed braces. Her body still can't support her standing on its own, but with the help of a cane, she can just. But now he's completely out of funds. Selling the dimensional ring isn't an option either. Still, as a hero, he knows he'll have more chances to earn something. As they walk together at a slow pace, he feels happiness just looking at his sister's face. From a distance, a girl named Mina notices them and asks her friend about the girl with the canes and strange-looking equipment. Her friend replies that it's Karina, who was attacked by the darkness, lost her parents, and suffered severe injuries to both legs. Mina mutters that people like her are better off dead, to which her friend surprisingly asks if she is planning to bully that girl again. Mina confirms that no one dared to stand up to her when she bullied the girl before, and she doesn't expect anything to change now. With that, she walks off to meet her boyfriend, and her friend follows her as well. Meanwhile, our hero heads to the vice headmaster's office with Lily. The vice headmaster tells him bluntly that if his teacher hadn't spoken up for him, he wouldn't have been allowed to return to school. The teacher calmly assures him that she's already given him some guidance, and since the tuition fees are paid, she'll also help him earn the credits he needs to graduate. Our hero thanks both the teacher and the vice headmaster before stepping out of the office. As they leave, the vice headmaster silently admits to himself that he doesn't actually care about this boy. He only agreed to this because he's interested in Lily. Outside, the teacher tells the boy that she'll also cover the tuition fees for his sister, so he doesn't have to worry. She comments that they both are strong and encourages him to focus on school. Then she reminds him to head to class, saying they'll talk more later, to which he agrees. As she goes, he feels a little guilty for not telling her about becoming a hero. With the situation involving the Crazy Wolf still unresolved, he knows he has to be careful. Still, he wants to prove to her that he's not the same person he used to be. Then he heads to class, and as soon as a boy named Rayleigh spots him, he says he thought Tsuyoshi had been expelled. Another boy beside him asks if they should drag him to the toilet again after class, to which the bully agrees, saying he still needs to collect his pocket money from him. He crumbles a piece of paper into a ball and throws it at our hero, but this time, our boy catches it midair, to which both boys get surprised, and he tells them to meet him in the toilet later. The boy laughs, thinking Tsuyoshi's gotten cocky just because he hasn't been around for a while. He comments that he'll remind him what pain feels like. After class, they all head to the toilet where the bully says he heard Tsuyoshi was working as a cleaner in the caves after leaving school. He demands money from him again, calling it a protection fee, but this time, our hero refuses, to which the bullies look shocked. Off that the old version of him would have been too scared to fight back, but not anymore. He activates his divine eye skill to scan their abilities, but finds nothing worth worrying about them as they are not heroes. He delivers a powerful kick to both boys, sending them back hard, to which Rayleigh gets completely shocked as the boy he used to bully so easily is now fighting back. On top of that, he doesn't even look like the same person as before. Just then, the boy standing guard outside the toilet rushes in and warns Rayleigh that the boss is coming, to which the bully grabs his 2 fallen friends and quickly escapes. Watching them flee, our hero thinks to himself that if he had used his full ultimate physique strength in that kick, they might not have survived it. Meanwhile, in Karina's class, her classmate Haru is helping her with her schoolwork. Suddenly, Mina comes there and without warning, she pushes Haru aside and says she has something to discuss with Karina. Haru tries to explain that the girl is injured, but the bully ignores her. She glares at Karina and complains that ever since she stopped coming to school, she hasn't had anyone to squeeze money from. When Karina quietly says she doesn't have any money now, Mina's eyes shift to the braces on her legs, and she comments that those strange things on her legs look valuable enough to sell. Karina softly replies that her big brother worked hard to buy the braces for her, so they're very important to her. In response, the bully girl slaps her hard across the face, but none of the other students step in to help. Just then, the teacher walks into the classroom and firmly tells everyone to return to their seats. The bully tells Karina and whispers that class will be over soon, and their conversation isn't finished. She promises to deal with her after the others, even if it means sneaking out through the back gate. More than anything, she wants to make sure her brother doesn't cross paths with them. Meanwhile, in Tsuyoshi's classroom, the bell rings and Lily approaches him. She asks if he's starting to settle back into school life after being away for so long. She offers to help if there's anything he needs. Our hero assures her that he's doing fine and thanks her for always being so kind. She tells him she's glad to hear that, especially since he used to be bullied so often. With a gentle reminder to go home soon, she leaves the room. As she walks away, one of Rayleigh's former companions approaches him. Looking nervous, he apologizes for what happened earlier and asks if they can talk in private. He wants to take him somewhere to explain something. Our boy agrees to talk and follows the boy to a hidden spot where no one else is around. Suddenly, Rayleigh lunges at him with a stick, but our hero has already activated his ultimate physique at 30% strength in both arms, so he snaps the stick instantly, to which everyone gets shocked. He calmly says he knew this was a setup all along. Without hesitation, he delivers a powerful kick to the boy who brought him here, sending him backward. When the second attacker moves in, our hero quickly takes him down too. Then Rayleigh tries to strike again with his stick, but our boy warns wasn't at school, he would have killed him by now, to which the bully gets scared. Our hero then slaps him hard, sending him backward. Meanwhile, Karina runs toward the back gate, steadying herself with her braces. She thinks to herself that she needs to escape through the back gate and then circle around to the front to meet her brother. As she walks carefully, she reaches a staircase and tries to go down slowly, struggling with her injured legs. Suddenly, the bully appears behind her and pushes her hard, to which Karina falls down the stairs and starts bleeding. The bully girl walks up to her and demands to remove the leg braces herself. Meanwhile, at the front gate, our hero waits patiently, wondering why his sister hasn't arrived yet, as they had promised to go home together. Just then, Haru rushes over and tells him she saw Karina heading toward the back gate and urges him to go check immediately. Our hero moves toward the back gate, looking for his sister, but he feels confused about why she's there. He notices Haru acting strangely and senses that something is wrong. As he searches, he reaches the stairs, and when he looks down, he gets shocked to see his sister lying injured at the bottom. She looks up at him with a smile, asking why he's here. She says it's her fault that she fell down the stairs, but when he uses his divine eye skill on her, the system reveals that her injuries were caused by someone else. He realizes she wasn't hurt from falling, she was beaten. She calls herself stupid and points out that even her walking stick is broken. When she says she doesn't want to be a burden on him, he gently tells her that they are family, and family is never a burden. Then she asks about the braces, worried if they're still okay. He confirms they are, to which she feels relieved. He carefully lifts her onto his back, and together they head home. As they walk, he asks if she remembers the last time he carried her like this, when darkness attacked the city, and he feels how much she has grown since then. She confirms and says that ever since that day, they've always stayed together. He tells her that she's the only one he has, and from that moment on, he's wanted to grow stronger to protect her. Now that he's become a hero, he promises not to let her go through something like this ever again. He gently sets her down on a bench and tells her to wait here as he forgot something and will be back soon. Meanwhile, in the classroom, Mina sits with her boyfriend Billy and a friend. They're laughing, bragging about how Mina beat up that girl. But despite this, the bully girl complains that it's a shame she couldn't take that girl's leg braces, as she could have sold them for a decent amount of money. Her boyfriend reassures her, saying if the braces are really worth something, he'll get them by tomorrow. Then the other girl speaks up, asking if it's safe to go that far since Karina's older brother is back at school. She heard he was expelled and now works as a cleaner. The bully girl says that if he's just a cleaner, then he's nothing more than trash and they don't need to worry about him. The girl adds that Karina used to be quite popular before her legs were injured, and a lot of boys liked her because she was so cute. Hearing this, Billy says that if that's the case, he'll definitely go meet that girl, to which the bully girl feels jealous. But her boyfriend quickly leans closer and assures her he doesn't mean it that way. She teases that after he steals that girl's braces tomorrow, they'll split the money and have fun together. As they talk, our hero listens quietly from outside the classroom. When he steps inside, the three get stunned, and Billy angrily asks how he got in without permission. The hero calmly replies that it means there are 3 people who hurt his sister. They realize he must be Karina's brother, and ask if he's here to get revenge. Billy steps forward and says his girlfriend was just playing with his sister. The hero asks if pushing a crippled girl down the stairs counts as playing. The bully guy points a finger at him, but suddenly our hero grabs his finger and snaps it instantly, as he won't let any of them leave now. He scans them and sees none of them have any special abilities like a hero. Mina moves closer to check on her boyfriend, while the other girl steps in front of the hero, warning him that they might not be heroes, but they're not people to mess with. Before she can say more, the hero delivers a powerful punch that sends her crashing backward. The bully girl and her boyfriend get shocked, and when the boyfriend tries to speak, the hero punches him hard in the face, saying he needs to deal with the girls first. The hero grabs Nina by the neck and presses her to the wall, to which she feels so much pain. He tells her that from what he heard earlier, she was the one who started bullying his sister. He makes it clear he won't forgive her for this all and orders her to stay away from his sister from now on, warning that if she doesn't listen, he'll twist her head next time. Then he releases her neck, to which she takes some breath, and our hero turns to the boyfriend by asking if he still wants to bully his sister. He grabs a steel ruler, ready to strike, and the bully suddenly yells that he's the son of the Blue Snake Gang's leader, a level 10 hero, and promises to take revenge. Hearing this, Tsuyoshi realizes the boy is talking about the same loan shark gang he once borrowed money from to help his sister. Without a word, our hero activates a powerful lightning skill, summoning energy from the sky, to which the bully gets shocked, realizing this boy is a hero as he's using a real combat skill. Our boy hurls the lightning to which the bully screams in pain, but the attack doesn't 90%. After his bag and walks out, calmly saying this is their first and last warning as he won't give them another chance. Behind him, Mina rushes to her boyfriend, worried about his condition. She asks if he wants to go to the hospital, but he refuses, saying he just needs to rest. She shows him the mark on her neck and begs him to tell his father as she wants that boy to pay. Then her boyfriend angrily comments that he'll wipe that boy and his sister from the earth. Meanwhile, Karina waits quietly on the street, feeling guilty that her brother is so worried because of her. Just then, he returns and gently apologizes for making her wait. He lifts her onto his back once more, and together they head home. As they walk, our hero keeps thinking about the Blue Snake Gang, that their leader is a level 10 hero, and he knows the boy he just punished will definitely run to his father. There are too many of them, and that means his sister is in danger. He knows he can't afford to let his guard down. While walking, he also senses it's time to return to the other world. Activating the Boundless Passage, he instantly transports back. He and Sakura arrive at their chosen location, and she explains that once they reach the town, he'll be able to take on official quests. She tells him he needs to register at the Adventurers Guild, and that he'll also find a tavern, a blacksmith, and a tool shop there. Hearing all this, our hero feels excited and tells her to lead the way as he can't wait to get started. As they enter the town, he looks around and notices that the streets are filled with people from various beastmen tribes. Each one is unique. She explains that many rare tribes live here, and each has its own specialty. Just then, our hero spots 2 human adventurers nearby. He curiously asks if they're like the humans from his own world. She confirms and adds that there's a rule in this town that fighting outside the arena is forbidden, as it could risk someone's life. While she's still explaining, our boy suddenly walks over to the 2 humans, wanting to talk. She gets stunned by this sudden move, and the 2 adventurers react sharply, warning him to stay away as they draw their daggers. Before anything happens, the Beast Girl quickly steps in between them, stopping them from the fight, to which the 2 humans leave. As our hero and the girl continue walking, she warns him not to approach random adventurers in the city. Most of them, especially humans, are very cautious and don't like being approached out of nowhere. Our boy agrees, and as they move through the streets, he notices people whispering and glancing at them. He asks her about it, to which she explains that it's because of her, as she's half beastman and half human, and that alone draws attention everywhere they go. Our hero gently offers his hand to her, and by assuring her not to worry about the stairs, he comments that they have to go to register at the Adventurers Guild. Soon, they arrive at the guild, and Tsuyoshi gets amazed by the sight of the large quest board filled with various requests. She points out that they can't accept any quests until he's officially registered. They head to the reception desk, where a girl from another Beastman tribe greets them. She asks which one of them wants to register. Our boy comments that she seems different from the others outside who are giving them strange looks. The receptionist explains that she has seen countless adventurers come through, so nothing surprises her anymore. She hands him a registration form and asks for basic details like his name and class. She also explains that once the form is completed, his information will be shared with all Adventurers Guild branches. This way, he'll be able to take quests from any location in the future. Our boy glances at the form, and Sakura encourages him, saying this is an important step as without it, he won't receive an adventurer's badge. When he curiously asks about the badge, the receptionist shows him an iron rank badge, the lowest tier, and tells him it will serve as his identification from now on. She adds that the higher the rank of his badge, the better the quests, rewards, and recognition he'll receive. That's why he must work hard to gain experience and climb the ranks. She explains that adventurer badges begin at the lowest rank, iron, then move up to bronze, silver, and finally gold. However, only a handful of gold-ranked adventurers are ever seen around the guild, as those elite individuals usually accept quests only from wealthy clients. She also tells him that once he receives his badge, his level will be automatically detected. The badge even allows him to hide his level from others. Our hero gets pleased to hear this, and Sakura adds that now that he's officially registered, the badge is linked to him, and to hide his level, he simply needs to think about it. Our hero realizes that he is already familiar with this technique thanks to the divine selection system. When he focuses, the receptionist gets surprised as it's rare for a beginner to manage it so easily. While they're still talking, two beastmen suddenly rush into the guild, carrying a large bag. They approach the counter, saying they've completed a quest and want to report it. They also ask if there are any new quests available. The receptionist mentions there's one emergency request. The reward is generous, but the risk is also higher as the client specifically asked for an adventurer of at least level 15. She explains that a group of dangerous carnivorous creatures known as Darkness has been attacking local farms. A team of 3 adventurers previously accepted the mission, but they returned badly injured and one member is still missing. Hearing this, the two beastmen look worried, but the hero steps forward and accepts the quest, saying they will handle it. Then he calls the beastmen trash, which makes one of them angry, and he tries to draw his weapon, but the other stops him, reminding him they're inside the guild. The beastmen also warn our hero not to take the quest because it's dangerous, but he refuses to back down. He tells them to shut up if they can't handle it. Then he activates his ultimate physique skill and asks if they want to see his fighting skills in the arena. The beastmen comment that their badges are still iron rank, but they have plenty of experience. They warn our boy that he'll regret this if the requester rejects him. The receptionist agrees, saying that with his low level, it's likely to happen, but Sakura assures them that they will succeed. The two beastmen get surprised that the half-beast and half-human girl is backing the boy. When they ask how she can be so confident, she shows them her gold rank badge, to which everyone gets stunned. The receptionist says that she should have mentioned her gold badge from the start. She assures them that the requester will be pleased to hear this. The two beastmen quietly leave and Sakura turns to our hero, calling him master, and says this quest will help him level up. The receptionist watches them go, confused about why a gold-ranked adventurer is calling this boy a master. Later, they arrive at the farm, and the beast girl points out that this is where many carnivorous darkness creatures live. Our hero admits he didn't know she had a gold badge. She explains that she joined the Adventurers Guild when she was young, and has completed many quests with different groups. Once she reached the level requirement, she upgraded her badge to gold. Our boy gets impressed and comments that she's amazing, to which she blushes but warns him that their enemies here look very strong. He looks through the doorway and spots a swarm of disgusting level 10 carnivorous darkness. She explains that these creatures are made of darkness, which corrupts any living being it touches, driving them berserk, boosting their strength, and in the case of weaker creatures, even robbing them of their intelligence. She says they're just like those dark goblins, and it was the same darkness that turned the slimes into corrupted versions of themselves. She warns him that they're extremely dangerous, and only thunder element attacks are effective against them. Hearing this, he says that his thunder chain fall skill is perfect for the job. He's excited as this is exactly the kind of opportunity he brought his weapon for, and it's a chance to level up. But just as he's about to draw his weapon and charge in, she stops him by telling that he shouldn't take on something like this alone anymore, as this isn't like the beginner areas, and fighting here could cost him his life. She adds that he might be able to handle 1 or 2 on his own, but if the whole group attacks at once, it could end badly. She reminds him of the look on that adventuring party's face when they heard about this request, that they knew how dangerous it really is. She tells him she doesn't want him to risk his life just to level up and asks if she can go with him during the fight. Hearing this, he says he has 2 questions for her. He thinks about his goal, to raise his level so he can be ready for whatever happens in his world. He also remembers the promise the Beastman King made, that a trial will wait for him after 1 year. He asks her if she knows how strong he needs to be to prove his strength and skills to the Beast King after a year. She feels sad, but honestly tells him it's impossible for him to pass the king's trial in just 1 year starting at his current level. She adds that surviving the next year itself is already an achievement. At the very least, he has to avoid being killed by the Beastman's divine judgment. She then asks if he knows the rules about the level system. He tells her to explain, and thinks that he only knows both worlds use the same level system, and that being stronger as an adventurer here means being stronger as a hero in his world, and other than this, he doesn't know anything. Then she explains that the maximum level for adventurers is 100, and the current Beastman King is already at level 92. She says the reason he holds that position is because of his unmatched combat skills and his incredibly high level. The Beastman King, the Human King, and the Elven King each represent the peak strength of their respective races. She tells him the reason she said it's impossible for him to pass the king's trial is because there's a limit to how much an adventurer can grow. The higher someone's level gets, the harder it becomes to level up, and eventually, they hit a wall where they just can't grow anymore. To make her point, she uses herself as an example that despite being an adventurer for over 20 years, she's still only level 72. She has tried countless times to go beyond that, but it's her limit, and everyone has one. She adds that in order to pass the Beast King's trial, he needs to be at least level 50. But for a normal adventurer, reaching level 50 takes a lifetime, and doing it within just 1 year is practically impossible. After hearing everything, he tells her not to worry, as she already knows he's not just a normal adventurer. He reminds her that he stood up even after receiving divine judgment, and he was able to lift the Divine King's hammer. So as long as he can reach level 50 within a year, he'll be fine. It might be impossible for others, but for him, it's within reach. He thinks to himself that everything is possible thanks to the ring, the very reason he's in this world. He has the divine selection system, and he's the chosen one. With that, he believes he can overcome anything. Hearing his words, she feels some hope and tells him he's definitely a legend. Then he pulls out his freezing sword from the system and starts walking toward the corrupted slimes, ready to hunt them down. But before that, he asks her his second question, that if he were to fight a level 10 warrior along with dozens of minions at the same time, what level he should be to have an advantage. She answers that for a battle like that, he would need to be at least level 12. He confidently says he'll reach level 12 in about a week, and as he steps into the farm, the massive slime lets out a thunderous roar. He decides to use the system to its fullest from now on. When he activates his divine eye, he scans the slime and sees its abilities. The system also reveals that there's a slime core inside its body. When the main body takes damage, the core glows and starts regenerating the slime. During this time, the core's location can be detected. He understands the slime's weaknesses, thunder attacks, and its core. He knows he has to use Thunder Chain Fall targeting the core. Jumping up, he prepares to find the core inside the attack. He strikes the chest with a powerful slash but realizes the core isn't there. Meanwhile, the slime begins to heal itself. Suddenly, the slime at him with its massive mouth, but he catches it with his bare physique in both arms. With a surge of strength, he forces its jaws apart, tearing its mouth into two. Impossible possible. Seizing the moment, he grabs his freezing sword again and spots the core hidden beneath the slime. He strikes the core with a powerful lightning strike, to which the darkness within the slime gets destroyed. He says that this request might be easier than he thought, and notices the system awarding him 300 experience points. After 30 minutes, he finishes off all the carnivorous darkness outside. Just as the Beast Girl said, the higher his level gets, the more experience is needed to level up, and the points from weak mobs like these barely make a difference. Our hero has earned only 3,600 experience points from the fight, and it's clear this request alone won't be enough to level up. He reminds himself that he needs to reach level 12 in less than a week and level 20 within a year, so he'll have to push himself even harder. He then asks the girl if she has any thunder oil, to which she takes out a small bottle and wishes him good luck. Actually, thunder oil can imbue a weapon with the thunder attribute, and it's a rare magical item often used by magicians and shamans. She's 4 bottles left, all prepared for the two of them, and tells him to use them however he wants. He comments that she's as reliable as ever. Of course, she bought thunder oil from the item vendor before they came here. He asks if it's expensive and suggests she stock up on oil-based items next time, since the fire oil they used before was also very useful. He explains their financial situation, that items like this aren't cheap, and she has already spent all the money she had to buy these supplies. She apologizes for the situation, but he reassures her and asks how much the thunder oil costs and what the reward for their current request will be. He admits that he's been so focused on leveling up that he forgot how important money is in this world. She explains that prices vary depending on the item. Since thunder oil is rare, it costs about 30 silver coins per bottle. As for rewards from low-level quests, they also depend on what's being requested, usually the value of lost or recovered items. From her experience, low-level guild requires more than 1 gold coin, which is why people often prefer to hire adventurers directly when they lose something valuable. She adds that 1 gold coin equals 100 silver coins, and 100 silver coins equal 10,000 bronze coins. For their current task, clearing out the carnivorous darkness, she expects the reward to be about 3 gold coins, though the final amount depends on the requester. Once they complete the quest, the Adventurers Guild will calculate and distribute the payment. Hearing all this, our hero prepares to enter the food warehouse, certain the boss is inside. But before passing on his land without permission, some of the men notice traces of thunder element magic lingering in the air and ask if this boy was the one who exterminated the carnivorous darkness outside. They scoff at the idea, saying it's impossible for just a human and a half-beast to wipe them out, as such a task is extremely difficult even for a full party. They then ask if they are also after Cardiolus, making it clear they've already taken this request and claiming that the drop item will be theirs. Our hero confusingly asks what Cardiolus is, and explains that they accepted this quest from the guild. The Beast Girl suddenly gets surprised, asking if Cardiolus will drop from the boss. The farm owner confirms, and another man warns that since they don't even know what Cardiolus is, they should leave now. However, the Beast Girl tells our boy not to give up on this request as Cardiolus is extremely valuable, a rare drop from a dark boss after it's been purified, and it can be used to connect to a dark area. She explains that the drop rate and experience gain inside a dark area are 10 times higher than in a normal area, and any adventurer aiming to level up would never let such slip away. She adds that if Cardiolus were sold at auction, it could fetch around 100 gold coins before purification, and at least 150 gold coins after purification. Hearing this, our hero gets shocked and realizes he must obtain it no matter what, as it's crucial to his goal. As tensions rise and the two sides prepare to fight, the farm owner steps in to stop them. He points out that one party came through the guild, while the usable. She tells them the Shaman's Guild is located east of the city and offers to write a referral letter. However, she warns that with the upcoming shaman exam, there's a chance they may be turned away. While the receptionist steps away to prepare the letter, the hero asks the Beast Girl about the shaman exam and whether shamans also have ranks. She explains that shaman is an honorary title, similar to pharmacists or elven awakeners, and it's earned through an exam. Shamans are divided into 6 ranks, and like awakeners, they can craft unique medicines and items, with higher-ranked shamans producing far more effective and expensive results. The hero then ordinary adventurers. The Beast Girl confirms, explaining that shamans, pharmacists, and awakeners usually avoid direct combat. They're considered a more noble class among adventurers, not only because they create rare and valuable medicines, but also because their work can influence the strength gap between adventurers. She explains that in the world of adventurers, there's a saying that fears one high-level shaman more than 10 high-level adventurers. A skilled shaman can create medicines and items powerful to decide the outcome of battles. Some rare medicines even help with leveling up, which is why adventurers seek them out so desperately. Of course, pharmacists and awakers are also highly valued. She adds a story as an example that a level 80 warrior once offended a silver-rank shaman, and in revenge, the shaman summoned dozens of adventurers above level 80 to hunt him down. Since then, everyone has understood just how terrifying and influential shamans can be. As she is finishing her explanation, the receptionist returns with a referral letter. They both thank her for her kindness and head toward the Shaman Guild. Outside, they see a long line of magicians waiting for the entrance exam. She explains that many candidates come from prestigious families, schools, and organizations, so passing the exam is extremely difficult. Assures him that with the referral letter, they have a chance. When they approach the gate and ask a shaman guard about the purification of a cardiolus, the guard mentions that since today is exam day, only shamans are allowed inside. She explains that they have a referral letter, but the guard refuses, saying it doesn't matter who the letter is from. He adds that in the Shaman Guild, they hold the authority, and no one can enter until the exam is over, no matter how many days pass. Hearing this, the hero grows frustrated. Just then, Doug, the president of the Shaman Guild, arrives, to which the guard quickly informs him of the situation. The hero steps forward and asks if he is the one in charge, questioning why they are being denied entry even with a referral letter. The president calmly replies that he will handle the purification, but since today is exam day, he has no time for them. He advises our hero to return after the exam is finished. Our boy then asks if there isn't any other way, to which the president comments that if this boy takes the shaman exam and earns the highest score, he will personally arrange it as a bonus. But he quickly points out the problem that since the boy is a warrior, he doesn't qualify to take the shaman exam. Our hero curiously asks about the requirements, to which the people around laugh at him, and the means that to become a shaman, one must at least have the aptitude of a magician, because at its core, a shaman is a type of magician. He explains that the most basic requirement is to pass 2 tests, potion creation and item crafting. Once those are cleared, one can become a white shaman. Hearing this, our hero asks him to lend him his staff, to which the president looks surprised, and the guard reacts angrily, but our boy calmly says that if he borrows the staff, he will prove his qualifications. The president agrees and hands it over, saying it has no level restrictions. The Beast Girl quietly asks what he plans to do, but when he reassures her, she relaxes as she trusts his words. Then our hero places his hand on the guard's chest and thinks that if his guess is right, he can duplicate a magician's skills and channel them through the staff as a medium. As his absolute duplication skill activates, countless skills appear before him, but he chooses one called Shining and declares that if he can successfully cast magic, it will prove his worth to take the shaman exam. With the staff in hand, waves of magic spread around him, and he tells the Beast Girl to close her eyes, then casts the Shining spell, to which the president quickly raises a shield to block the light, confident that such a basic spell won't affect him. Just then, the system informs our hero that he can amplify the spell's power by using his ultimate physique skill. He curiously decides to try, and the brightness instantly surges from 150 to 3500, to which the president's shield shatters under the intense light. Our boy cancels the magic if this proves his qualification for the shaman exam, to which the president agrees. Then they arrive at the exam hall, where members of other races whisper among themselves, surprised that a human is taking the shaman exam. Some of them say a human should be sitting for the pharmacist's exam instead. Hearing this, our hero grows nervous, but the girl reassures him by explaining that he is the first human ever to attempt the shaman exam, which is why everyone is reacting this way. She tells him that humans have the class, similar in role to the Beastmen shamans and the Elven Awakeners. While there are no rules forbidding a human from taking the shaman exam, tradition has always kept the classes separate. Because of that, entering another faction's domain is naturally seen as a provocation. As they talk, A man named Eels Pig, the vice president, tells his concern to the president that he doesn't oppose the decision, but warns that allowing this could damage the honor of the Beastman Shaman faction. He also doubts whether a human can even brew potions, noting that this boy doesn't even carry a basic staff. The president replies that he has lent his own staff to the boy, and the purpose of today's test is simply to see whether he can make potions or not. He adds that he's curious about this boy's potential, because when the boy demonstrated magic earlier, he felt a surge of magic waves within him, a level of talent he has only ever seen in the genius shaman Kevin. Pig thinks that it's just a joke, claiming that the human isn't even worthy of carrying the sandals of Kevin's newest disciple. The president then asks if the genius's disciple Fulin is also present, to which the vice president confirms and adds that she is aiming for the first place. Actually, the genius's new disciple is a young nightcat taking part in the exam. The crowd whispers about her, saying that she is still very young but incredibly talented, as she was able to make potions on her own a year ago. However, she was disqualified back then because of age restrictions, but this time, she has her sights set on winning. As the discussion continues, the vice president announces that the shaman exam is about to begin. He instructs non-participants to leave and tells the examinees to stand on the spots marked with their assigned numbers. Our hero checks his own number, 15, and when the beast girl leaves the area, he notices the numbers written on the floor and steps onto his spot. Nearby, the cat girl glances at him, surprised to see a human among the candidates. Our boy also thinks that she's actually quite cute, and then the president explains that in this shaman exam, the participants will be tested on their basic shaman skills, starting with making potions on their own. Suddenly, several tables rise automatically from the ground, surprising our hero, and the cat girl remarks that this is the shaman's refining station, though the human clearly has no idea about it. Our boy thinks to himself that potion making in this world still feels old-fashioned, as back in his old world, the videos he watched showed everything done through full automation. Then the vice president steps forward and begins explaining the test. With a tap of his staff, glowing magic circles appear beneath the participants, and sheets of paper float down into their hands. The instructions state that they must create 3 basic energy potions within 1 hour. The president adds that the first challenge is material selection. On the refining tables lie a wide range of ingredients, but proper knowledge is crucial. He explains that there are 9 essential materials for a basic energy potion, and using even a single wrong one will ruin the result. Hearing this, several participants start to look nervous, and our hero notices that many of them clearly don't know which ingredients to choose. At that moment, the cat girl mutters that when a proper magician makes potions, the ingredients are always prepared beforehand, as forgetting the basic materials for such a simple potion is nothing short of pathetic. Our hero gets surprised to see that she has already chosen the materials, and using her staff, she begins to create the potion with magic, to which the presidents also seem impressed. She first crushes the ingredients with the staff, and then our hero activates his divine eye skill to analyze her every move so he can learn from it. When she starts pouring the potion into bottles, the president explains that the next step, refining, is the most important and final stage. While everyone watches her closely, the president suddenly notices that the human boy hasn't even started yet. At this moment, the cat girl finishes her task, and the president gently tells her to wait until the test is over for her work to be checked. She feels disappointed that she has to wait, but when she glances at our boy, she notices him staring at her with a strange look. Just then, our hero completes his analysis and begins making the potions. Everyone gets stunned as they see him selecting, crushing, and refining the materials all at the same time. The vice president remarks in shock that this human had been hiding his true abilities all along, pointing out that this is the same technique Kevin once used during his shaman exam, a feat that requires extraordinary magical power. Meanwhile, the beast girl waits outside, wondering if her master has any weaknesses when it comes to potion making. Inside, our hero feels as if he has done this countless times before, just by looking at the process. He realizes that the final step is refining, infusing magic carefully to complete the potion. Watching his speed, the cat girl grows tense as he's working faster than she expected. She refuses to believe she's losing to a mere human, and she also wonders if he's copying the technique that her master Kevin once used during his shaman exam. Potion is a remarkable achievement. master is still safe. Inside, our boy unleashes Thunder Chain Fall on a pack of wolves. His powerful strike defeats them instantly, raising his total experience to 12,400 out of 15,000. Seeing this, he mutters that only the boss remains, and defeating it will be enough to reach level 7. He finally arrives at the entrance of the boss room, but feeling a bit drained after clearing all the minions, he decides to rest for a while before challenging the boss. He drinks some more energy and stamina potions, wincing at the bitter taste because, compared to the convenient capsules from his original world, these are unpleasant, but their effects are far stronger as his strength quickly returns, and he rises to face the boss. Opening the massive door, he senses a powerful presence. A towering pig-like creature steps forward, and it's clear this is the boss of the dark area. He immediately activates Ultimate Physique in both arms, but before he can make a move, the beast suddenly leaps at him with shocking speed, slashing down with its sword. Our hero just manages to block with his freezing blade, but he realizes the boss is incredibly fast. Then the monster releases a strange radiation, locking our hero's body in place, and for a moment, he's helpless as the beast prepares to strike again. But the ring on his hand activates and breaks the illusion, to which his body responds once more, and he raises his sword just in time to block the incoming slash. Doing this, he comments that he won't die so easily, to which the monster feels surprised, but admits that this human is strong as he has broken its tremble slow attack. The boss leaps at him again, and our hero thinks that if only he had the Dark Goblin set, he could use the Roaring Tentacle to strike its weak point, but that gear was left behind in his original world. The boss then unleashes a bloody attack, shattering much of our hero's freezing sword. Losing control, he takes a brutal hit to the neck, to which some blood spills out from the wound. He realizes he has no medicine for the bleeding, and at this rate, he'll die. If he stays still, the blood will keep flowing, and with his potions running out, his chances of survival grow slim. Yet he refuses to give up and leaps at the boss again, using his Thunder Chain Fall skill to unleash a powerful strike. But to his shock, the boss effortlessly drives the thunder attack straight into the ground instead. The boss steps closer to him and declares that he will end his life without even using the sacrifice skill. Swinging its massive sword, the boss unleashes a powerful strike that causes a huge blast. The impact takes away some of our hero's health, but as the dust clears, the boss gets surprised to see that this human boy has activated the very same sacrifice skill. Our hero thanks the boss for approaching him, explaining that this allowed him to copy the sacrifice skill with his absolute duplication ability. At this moment, his entire presence shifts, radiating overwhelming strength and pressure. He states that he will finish the fight using only his bare hands, without relying on any weapon, and the system also informs him that his ultimate physique has now been enhanced by 3 times, pushing his power to an entirely new level. The boss gets stunned and demands to know how the boy can use the darkness skill, but our hero comments that it's very easy for him. Without wasting a moment, he leaps forward with incredible speed and slams a powerful punch into the boss's stomach, which causes the boss to slide back afar. Our boy declares that he doesn't care what methods he has to use, as long as he can finish the fight in the remaining time. The boss laughs in response, tossing its weapon aside, and reminds him that it can also use the sacrifice skill, but it gets more shocked when it sees the boy freely controlling lightning strikes. Our hero says he hasn't forgotten about that, nor has he forgotten how the boss once deflected his Raiden attack with its weapon. At this moment, the boss realizes its mistake, that out of anger, it had thrown away the very weapon that was its greatest strength. Our hero steps forward and tells the boss that his true aim was to force it into offering half of its blood. He then drives a devastating punch straight into its stomach with his bare hands, which causes the blood to burst from its body, and then our hero rips it into 2 pieces, to which the boss gets defeated at the spot, and the system immediately notifies him that he can now reset this dark area twice. The effect of sacrifice fades, and he returns to his normal form, though his entire body aches. Sacrifice is powerful, but when combined with ultimate physique, it puts a heavy. At that moment, the system informs him that he has obtained the boss's weapon, to which he feels good as it has come out at the right time since he lost his own weapon. He picks up the weapon, the bloody mist saw, which inflicts wounds that cannot heal. Reading further instructions, he learns that if he challenges the dark area again, he will receive a 50% experience bonus. He also notices that he is leveled up to 7. However, he mutters that sacrifice is a troublesome skill. Its damage doesn't fade away, and instead of boosting his condition, it only wears him down. Unsure of what to do next, he debates whether to step outside and rest. If he dives into another round right away, he knows the boss fight will be unavoidable. On top of that, the Beast Girl warned him earlier that it would be dangerous not to leave and replenish supplies after the first round. But he also reminds himself that his plan is to gain 6 levels in 1 week, reaching level 12. To return safely to his original world, he must keep leveling up, so he cannot ignore the bonus experience. With that thought, he presses the challenge button without hesitation, resetting the dark area to face the boss again. Outside, the Beast Girl feels worried because he still hasn't come out. The president reassures her, saying the boy might have chosen to continue since the challenge offers extra experience. Still, he feels uneasy as if the boy had lost. He should have been forced out already, yet he remains inside. The Beast Girl mutters that the boy promised to return after the first round. Just then, the Vice President Pig returns from his nap. Seeing the situation, he asks if the fight isn't over yet. He mocks that the first round has already ended, and yet the boy's body hasn't been expelled. He mentions that he has seen countless young challengers before, but not a single one has ever cleared this phase. He remarks that if the boy survived the first round and still hasn't emerged, it means he's attempting the next round, and without any healing potions, that could be fatal. The Beast Girl insists that she can still hear the thunder, proof that her master is alive. The Vice President mocks her again, but when she looks at him seriously, the President senses the bloodlust radiating from her, and orders them both to stay silent until the boy appears. He tells the Vice President to leave and mutters that this man is a fool as he can't even sense the Beast Girl's bloodlust, and her power is clearly limitless. The Beast Girl grows more anxious as the thunder suddenly stops. Just then, as the darkness begins to emerge, but the Beast Girl suddenly stops them, realizing this isn't the darkness. Yoshi, stepping out of the dark area. He apologizes for making her wait and explains that he completed the challenge 3 times, gaining an experience bonus each round and leveling up 3 times. Feeling exhausted, he collapses, and the President immediately calls the others to his level rises to 9, and his combat power reaches 14,500. After that, they bring our hero into the room, where the 2 presidents use their magic, reflect, to heal him. As his injuries start to mend, they explain that both his muscles and nerves were severely damaged, and it's a miracle he survived. Our boy thanks them, while the Beast Girl scolds him, saying he's always reckless and breaks promises. He explaining that he couldn't resist the temptation of the experience bonus, and this time he reached level 9 with great rewards. As they talk, the President comments that he wouldn't have believed it if he hadn't seen it himself, that this boy has completed the dark area 3 times. He recalls the intense aura when the boy emerged, stronger than the darkness itself, and realizes that if Kevin was a genius, then this human surpasses even a genius. The Vice President apologizes for his earlier words, but our hero reassures him. The President also mentions that the reflect skill they used was only an intermediate level healing spell, and they've restored him as much as possible, but the deep injuries remain, leaving his body in critical condition. He also tells our boy that when he emerged, his body was covered in wounds, with internal bleeding and nerve damage everywhere. If they had delayed treatment even slightly, he would have died. He notes that it seems his body used some secret technique or magic, but warns him not to rely on it, as the lingering danger could hinder future leveling. Our hero feels surprised and realizes the sacrifice skill might be affecting his mind, as he briefly sees 2 strange eyes. When the Beast Girl asks about it, he brushes it off, saying he's just a little tired. The President then gives him a special medicine, instructing him to take it once a day and meditate afterward to absorb it more effectively. The Vice President surprisingly asks if they really intend to give such medicine to a human. The President explains that it's Kevin's favorite medicine and will greatly help heal his body. He also suggests that it would be even better for the boy to meet the genius directly, as if he has the talent, the genius might take him as an apprentice and teach him even more advanced knowledge of medicine. He explains that the genius is one of the few people on the continent who has mastered the legendary law of ruin, which surprises the Beast Girl. She asks what number it is, to which our hero feels confused, and the Vice President clarifies that in this world, the magic of heaven and earth is governed by certain laws, and using magic according to these laws grants immense power. It's called the Forbidden Spell of Ruin. For shamans, mastering these laws is important for improving the potency and quality of the medicines they refine. However, the laws themselves are extremely violent, and some even seem to possess their own will. There are 12 laws in total, all hidden in unexplored regions, and even if one discovers them, proper training and ability are required to harness them. The Vice President adds that Kevin is called a genius because he mastered the 12th law, the law of the great winds, 10 years ago, greatly enhancing his magic. As a shaman, this mastery has been invaluable in refining medicines. He also notes that if anyone can heal the deep internal wounds in this boy's body, it would be Kevin. Hearing this, they both feel good, and the President then gives him a letter, explaining that with this letter of introduction, he will be able to meet Kevin. He also instructs them to bring along some rare items and valuable medicinal materials to trade with him. Our hero and the Beast Girl agree and move on the way for their next destination. From behind, Pig mutters to himself, saying he's certain that the President provided him with a B-grade forbidden blood potion, which they had obtained from the genius in exchange for a large quantity of valuable medicinal materials. The President explains that his intention is simply to see how far this human can go. He views lending him assistance now as an investment for the future. He adds that while he has never personally heard of anyone clearing the dark area alone, it is not entirely unheard of in history. Pig curiously asks if there really was someone else who managed such a feat. The President replies that 1,000 years ago, there was a great being named Garces, the ancient god king, who was said to have given birth to the Beastman clan. Meanwhile, our boy and the Beast Girl are moving carefully through the forest. When he asks about the genius's location, she reassures him that the President had told her, though it is still quite a distance away. She mentions that this journey will give them the chance to level up along the way, preparing them for the challenges ahead. As they move through the bushes, the Beast Girl explains that this path is closer and fits well with their quest objectives, but to complete it, he will need to form a party. They arrive at a spot where many adventurers are gathered. She tells him that this is a popular quest point, though after a certain time, adventurers often leave or move on to other quests. Feeling confident, our boy steps forward to try forming a party and test his level 9 skills, while the Beast Girl stays back to wait for his return. At that moment, another adventurer calls out, searching for a warrior or tank of at least level 15 with combat power over 6,000. He already has some party members at level 15 but needs one more to complete the team. No one steps forward, knowing the quest is extremely dangerous. One adventurer from another race suggests choosing a different quest, since they've already lost 2 days, but the quest leader refuses. He reminds them of the valuable information he purchased at the tavern that this is a level 12 quest, and it is the only one where they can obtain the blood rose, which is worth 500 silver coins. Actually, the blood rose is a rare medicinal ingredient that greatly boosts recovery, which is why it commands such a high price. As everyone is getting worried that no one is joining them, our hero raises his hand and announces that he is a warrior. He admits his level is slightly lower but expresses confidence in his abilities. The other adventurers get pleased to see him and say it's not a problem if he is at level 12, but when our boy reveals he is only level 9, the party leader grows angry. They notice that the quest entrance will close in just 10 minutes, and one of the members urges the leader to accept this boy, warning that missing this chance would waste another day. Hearing this, the leader agrees, warning our hero not to act alone inside, as the 4 others are strong and he is only there to fill the numbers. Our boy accepts and steps forward, excited to join a party for the first time. As they step into the quest area, they immediately notice that it's a level 16 quest. A forest rhino stands before them, also level 16 with 7,600 combat power. The adventurers get stunned as this quest is tougher than they expected. The party leader warns the informer that he'll deal with him if he steps outside, and they worry about what kind of boss awaits if the first enemy is already this strong. The 4 level 15 adventurers crouch, and the leader reassures them that if they work together, they can handle this difficult quest. He also reminds them that if any serious danger arises, they can use the return horn to safely retreat. As they talk, the leader suddenly remembers that the boy isn't with them. At that moment, a powerful lightning strike flashes before their eyes, and they are utterly shocked to see the level 9 boy has already defeated the forest rhino on his own. Doing this, our hero feels good as this challenge is easy for him compared to what he has faced in the dark area. After that, the group starts clearing the monsters in the area. They can't help but comment on how strong the level 9 warrior is, amazed that he's handling the quest almost entirely on his own. They notice he seems to know every monster's weak points and doesn't need any healing at all. One of the adventurers asks the boss if he knows who the boy is, since he has connections outside. The boss admits he isn't sure. He only recognizes the adventurers introduced by the information broker at the tavern, and guesses the boy must be an elite from a major guild, though he looks vaguely familiar. Meanwhile, our hero thinks that the experience points here are generous compared to the original world, but still far below what he gained in the dark area. Even the level 16 monsters here are far weaker than level 11 creatures from the dark area. They don't even come close to the strength of the darkness monsters. Spotting another monster, his system notifies him that its weakness is fire, though it's covered in poisonous thorns. He thinks this quest is about collecting blood roses, which he can later give to Kevin as a souvenir. He slays the monster and warns the party that the quest boss will appear soon. The weaker monsters are multiplying, and their weakness is fire, so he instructs the magician to use fire spells against them. The captain steps forward to prepare his attack, but our boy also cautions everyone about the poisonous thorns that can cause serious injuries. The captain feels puzzled at how someone only at level 9 could know so much, as with that much knowledge and experience, this boy must be hiding his true strength. Still, he casts his fire magic and burns down the wave of monsters in an instant. After the fight, the group takes a short rest. The captain's 3 companions quietly talk among themselves, admitting that everything has been going smoothly only because of the boy. They agree he feels different from normal people in this world and must be someone special. During the break, our hero and the captain finally exchange names. The captain introduces himself as Victor and says he wants to know the boy's true identity, but our boy replies that he's just a beginner adventurer. The captain asks if he knows about quest rankings for each region, but when our hero rejects, the captain explains that unlike normal quest points that disappear after some time, each region has fixed quest points. The scale varies, but rankings record party completions, first clears, and top performances. That means rewards aren't just bonus items or gold, but also fame. Since these rankings are shared across all regional branches of the Adventurers Guild, anyone can see them. Our hero quickly understands, since his original world had a similar system. The captain then reveals that, while this group of 4 may look random, he is actually part of Q's guild, serving under an elite unit of 15 pioneers called the Big Goat Party. Their leader is his senior, one of the guild's founders, a shield warrior nicknamed Big Goat Harvey. Finally, he adds that a new level 18 quest has recently appeared. It involves small dark area monsters lurking in the swamps, and they are especially troublesome because there's too little information about them. Our hero feels encouraged and remarks that the bonus must be worth it. The captain confirms, explaining that if the quest is cleared, both the first completion and top performance are recorded at once, which grants a huge bonus. That's why competitive parties fight to be the first to clear fixed quests. He then asks our hero if he is interested, mentioning that he still needs to meet his boss. Our boy hesitates. and vanish from sight. Realizing their tactic, he marking that these pitch-black creatures hide beneath the water after every attack. The blast forces all of them out at once, and they leap toward him to strike. In this moment, our boy activates his ultimate physique, and with enhanced speed and strength, he dashes across the surface of the water with ease, deliberately luring the monsters away. While running, he orders the boss of the guild to guide the party members along the safe route he gave them earlier. The group feels amazed at how effortlessly he runs over water, and they comment that with someone like him by their side, any quest could be cleared with ease, while Luke regrets underestimating the strength of this boy. The leader quickly commands everyone to stop staring and keep moving while the boy distracts the creatures. They agree and rush forward, as they trust him completely. Meanwhile, our hero leads the monsters to the combat area and declares that this is where he will finish everything. Using lightning to enhance his piercing strikes, he slashes through a monster and takes it down instantly. While he keeps fighting, the rest of the party reaches a safe spot. Feeling excited, they cheer that they've never made it this far before and feel proud of how smoothly things are going. At that moment, the captain informs them that the boss's trigger point is just up ahead. The group starts talking about going in and proving that they can handle the boss themselves, but Luke stops them by reminding them that they should wait for the boy. He admits he doubted the boy's strength at first, but it's thanks to him that they've come this far. Since they've already reached the boss area, it's smarter to regroup and go in together. Hearing this, the others agree, and even the captain says that the vice captain made the safest choice. Just then, our hero returns and tells them that he's already cleared out all the darkness monsters and that the boss area is right ahead, so they need to regroup. The others get shocked when they realize that he has defeated all the monsters by himself. They finally understand just how strong he really is. Even the boss admits that once the quest is over, they should recommend this boy to the guildmaster. Then they hide behind the bushes and watch as the boss appears in front of them, a swamp watcher at level 18. Our hero quickly notices its weakness: fire, lightning, and magic attacks. However, what surprises him is the absence of a boss gate. The vice captain explains that in hard mode, a boss gate isn't guaranteed. Whether a gate or trigger point exists depends not on the quest's difficulty, but on the boss's actual strength. Our hero then realizes that the true key is the boss's power.
Hey, still thinking about joining the 30-day Python
One-eyed gate he once saw in Kaidiolus's dark area must be unique to dark-type moment. The vice captain commands the party to head for the trigger point, but our hero stops him and tells the big goat to gather the magicians and the agile members. Once everyone is in position, our boy gives clear instructions that the big goat and the vice president will lead the warriors in direct combat, fighting as usual. The magicians will form pairs and prepare their strongest high-impact spells, but only cast them when he gives the signal. Lastly, he orders the party's debuff items, those that cause bleeding or poison, to be collected and evenly handed out to the agile members for the fight. The guys look surprised when they hear about the debuff items, but our boy explains that this boss has unusually high HP, and in hard mode it is doubled, so using debuff items will make the fight much easier. He orders the agile members to surround the boss and keep throwing debuffs, while the magicians stay at his side, ready to interrupt the boss's skills whenever needed. As he calmly explains the strategy, the big goat feels surprised at how much this boy knows, and even the vice captain remarks that with him here, clearing this quest will be much easier. Meanwhile, at the entrance of the portal, the other parties watch and discuss the big goat party that has just gone in. They notice the young warriors with them and the reddish glow at the entrance, which means they have entered the hard mode. The dog says that this time a human warrior is leading them, and mocks that Big Goat will surely end up using the return horn again. Inside the portal, the fight with the boss begins. Everyone moves according to the plan, attacking and throwing debuffs. The captain asks our boy if the magician should provide support magic, but he tells him to wait until he gives the signal. The moment the boss monster prepares to strike, he quickly orders the magicians to unleash their spells. They act without hesitation, and after a tough battle lasting about 15 minutes, the Swamp Watcher gets finally defeated. Everyone is stunned as they have managed to clear it in just one attempt. The big goat remarks that he must introduce this boy to the guild leader, since having him officially join would greatly boost their guild's achievements. The group celebrates their success, while our hero realizes he has leveled up to 10. Feeling excited, he marvels at having gained all of the boss's experience points for himself. Just then, the system notifies him that he has unlocked a black armor disguise set from the Ring of Infinite as a reward for reaching level 10. When he equips the set, in an instant, a sleek and striking armor forms over his body. The system explains that the armor is highly flexible, can only be worn by those with the Ring of Infinite, and can be displayed even when other equipment sets are hidden. Checking his status, our hero notices that not only has he reached level 10, but his combat power has also increased by 15,000. While he is still processing this new power, the captain also feels surprised to see him in the black armor. The vice president remarks that if the boy had shown up looking like this from the beginning, he never would have called him weak. Then the big goat turns to our hero and says he needs a favor. Meanwhile, other adventurers read the portal's record and see that the big goat party has cleared the quest in hard mode in just 150 minutes. The dog gets shocked, wondering how that's even possible. Just then, the party emerges from the portal, with our hero walking proudly at the front. Everyone around stares in surprise and begins whispering about him, asking which guild he belongs to. The captain steps forward and tells Dog that their party was the one who cleared the quest. But Dog replies that it was only possible because they had a powerful newcomer with them. Our hero steps closer to Dog and asks what he said about him earlier. Dog quickly apologizes, admitting his mistake, and even asks to join their party. He realizes this boy is no ordinary person, and if his power is real, he would be an incredible asset. Soon, adventurers from all of the guilds gather around our hero, each offering him a place in their parties. Our boy notes to himself that talented people are always in high demand. Even in his old world, big guilds would fight over powerful heroes. Strength is wanted everywhere, no matter the place. Just then, the big goat tells everyone to step aside, declaring that this boy is already joining their party. After that, the party takes our hero back to the Beastman city. As they walk through the streets, everyone stares at him in surprise because of his uniform. The Beastmen whisper among themselves, recognizing the famous goat party, but wondering who this unfamiliar boy with them is. Our hero tells the party to wait outside while he enters the guild alone, wanting to check if Sakura, the beast girl, has arrived since he promised to meet her there. Inside, he finds the same receptionist talking to the two beastmen who are once again pestering her to join them for food or drinks, but she clearly doesn't want to go. At that moment, our boy steps forward to the counter, and when the two beastmen glare at him, they realize he's the same human they met before. The receptionist also notices and remarks that he has changed quite a bit. The beastmen mock him, asking where he stole that uniform, but our hero ignores their insults and calmly asks the receptionist if the beast girl has come by. She replies that she hasn't seen her today, and aside from these two loud troublemakers, no one else has stayed around. The two beastmen get angry at the receptionist, but before they can cause more trouble, our hero grabs one of their hands using ultimate physique, to which the beastman feels pain. Both of them get angry at him, warning that the guild has guards and demanding he step outside to fight. Our boy apologizes to the receptionist for the disturbance and heads out. She quickly warns him not to go, saying they'll beat him if he leaves, but he calmly assures her that he'll be fine. Outside, the big goat sees the commotion and asks about the problem, calling our hero the captain. Our boy explains that the two beastmen started the fight first. Hearing this, the whole party gets ready to fight alongside him, to which the beastmen get scared and run away. Our hero then tells his team that since his companion isn't here, they should head to Q's guild instead. He also asks them not to call him captain now that the quest is over. When they arrive at Q's guild, the big goat reports everything to the guildmaster, a level 24 beast man. The guildmaster congratulates them on their victory, but finds it unusual that they want a human warrior to join future quests. The big goat says this boy has remarkable talent, and that thanks to him, they managed to complete the new quest. That's why he wants to invite him into their guild. But a level 23 beastman named Reedham interrupts, pointing out that the big goat's entire party is human, while their guildmaster is a beastman. He argues that it makes no sense for a beastman guild to be led by a human, and even accuses the boy of possibly being a spy from another guild. Our hero feels bad about the accusation, and the vice president quickly agrees with Reedham, saying his opinions are always sharp. This angers the captain, who snaps that if not for the big goat's kindness, they would have left the guild a long time ago. The big goat insists again that they can vouch for the boy, praising his keen observation and analytical skills. But Reedham comments they don't need another leader in their party, especially not a human. He adds that since the big goat's party is made up of humans, of course they would understand each other. Hearing this, the big goat feels angry and argues that his party has worked hard to earn great results for the guild. Still, the beastman counters that if other guilds discover they accepted a human as their leader, they'll be mocked, and the guild's reputation could collapse. The big goat asks the guildmaster for his opinion, and the guildmaster agrees with Reedham's suggestion, saying they should send this human off with proper hospitality. Hearing that, the big goat looks disappointed and our hero steps in, saying he only came here because of the big goat, but if that's how things are, he'll leave. He reassures the big goat, telling him it was fun fighting together, and adds that they'll meet again if possible. As he walks away, the big goat mutters that they just lost a huge opportunity since this boy could have changed the guild's future. Then he leaves with his entire team as well. Outside, our hero feels unsure whether he should focus on leveling up or start looking for the beast girl. At that moment, Dog, the beastman who mocked him earlier, approaches. This time, he politely asks for help, explaining that their guild accepted a difficult request, and the president told him to find someone strong. He promises that their guild will welcome him gently, with rewards and conditions entirely up to him. Feeling encouraged, our hero asks what kind of request it is, and Dog explains that it's a mission to rescue the kidnapped daughter of a wealthy merchant. Our boy asks if the guild really accepts requests like this, to which Dog explains that a guild needs more than just honor and income. Requests are also a big part of their revenue. He adds that the Adventurers Guild usually competes with them for high-paying jobs, and while their own Pace Guild is well known in this city, they barely manage to secure this one. Hearing this, our boy realizes that if it's a matter of competition, the reward must be huge. He recalls how the farmer quest with the Beast Girl already paid 3 gold coins. However, Dog says it's not that simple, as the one kidnapped is the daughter of a very wealthy and well-known family in the city. The reward is about 100 times higher than a normal urgent request, a staggering 500 gold coins. When Dog mentions he'll give half to him, our boy gets stunned, thinking the Beast Girl will be thrilled to see so much money. After some time, they arrive at the Pace Guild's entrance. Inside, the wealthy merchant named Wenton is scolding the guild members, as it's already the 3rd day since the kidnapping, and tomorrow is the final deadline for the kidnapper's demands, yet they still haven't found his daughter. He clearly states that if they fail again, they'll have to pay 10 times the reward as compensation. Hearing this, the guildmaster Pace and the vice president Hugh get surprised. They admit the demand is too high but promise they'll find his daughter tomorrow, and then suddenly Dog arrives with our hero. Our boy asks Dog if the guild hasn't sent a rescue team yet, to which Dog explains that they did, but the target's location is deep in the mountains, making it difficult to move without drawing attention. At first, they sent a team of 15 with an average level of 20, even including the vice guildmaster. They were confident, but they never even made it to the enemy's base, let alone the rescue. He continues that the team was caught in countless traps in unfamiliar terrain. The enemy group has around 20 members with an average level of 19, and their leader is a level 25 berserker. The guild sent out 3 more rescue teams with anyone who could fight, but every attempt ended in complete failure. After hearing this, our boy remarks that since the first attempt failed, the enemy is likely waiting for them fully prepared, to which Dog admits that they realized this too late. They stopped trying to force their way in, but too much time had already been wasted. That's why the guild called him here. He starts crying, worried that the guild's reputation will be ruined, but our hero reassures him by thinking about the situation carefully. He knows he has the Divine Eye skill that duplicates abilities, so he can manage this, but he also realizes he'll need to switch out the sacrifice skill for something else. Just then, the merchant once again orders the guild members that if they fail, they'll have to pay 10 times the reward as compensation. Our hero grows suspicious, noticing that the man keeps talking about money but hasn't shown a bit of a concern for his daughter. When the merchant demands if they can cover 5,000 gold coins, our boy replies that the girl will be saved and promises she'll be returned by tomorrow. Everyone gets confused until Dog explains to the guildmaster that this is the boy he mentioned earlier, the one who will take on the job. The merchant leaves with his guards, but also reminds the boy again about the 5,000 gold coins. Our boy declares that if he rescues the daughter, the merchant will have to double the reward to 1,000 gold coins, and if he fails, he'll personally pay 50,000 gold coins, to which everyone gets shocked. The merchant agrees and hands a contract to the guildmaster, who hesitates first, but signs it since he has no other choice. After the merchant leaves, the vice president angrily demands to know why this boy has done this to them, to which our hero replies that maybe this gives them a chance. Just then, someone announces that the president of the Shaman Association has arrived. Our boy immediately realizes it must be Doug, the man he met before. The president enters and asks about the vice guildmaster's condition, who explains that he called him here to treat his injury, since the guild's priest couldn't heal it. The president uses magic to close the wound, then asks if the injury came from Wenton's request, and whether the mission is truly that difficult. At this moment, our hero steps forward and admits that it is tough, but he is confident they can handle it. When the president notices him, he surprisingly asks why he is here, to which everyone else gets stunned that the president already knows him. Soon after, they sit together at the table, where our boy reassures the president that he will do his best to complete the request. The guildmaster tells the dog that the president isn't someone who easily gets close to others, then asks who the boy really is. The dog admits he doesn't know either, but says it's clear the boy is far stronger than they imagined. The vice guildmaster then steps forward and tells the boy he'll join him on the mission since he has attempted it before, to which our boy agrees, and they both head out immediately. As they leave, the guildmaster asks the president if he truly knows who this boy is. The president explains that this boy recently passed the White Shaman exam, making him the youngest White Shaman in the north, and also the warrior who single-handedly cleared Cardiolus, to which the guildmaster gets surprised. Meanwhile, walking through town, Vice Guildmaster Hugh asks our hero about their plan, and also reassures him not to worry, since they are putting everything on the line. The boy calmly replies that preparation is important, and requests him to guide him to the location, as he already knows about this area. The Vice Master tells him they already have 2 sets of medicine and basic supplies, so there's no need to buy anything else. When he asks where they should go next, the hero replies that he wants to head to the arena, to which the Vice Master feels confused but agrees. Once they arrive, the Vice Master asks another man what kind of matches are scheduled for the day. But our hero quickly clarifies that he isn't here to watch, he wants to participate, to which the Vice Master gets surprised, while the man points him toward the registration desk and explains that he just needs to pay the entry fee. As they walk, our hero thinks about using the divine selection system to shift his attributes toward those of an assassin. This mission requires stealth, someone who can move unnoticed and eliminate the target without drawing attention. He plans to study assassins by fighting in the arena, learn their techniques, and duplicate the most suitable skills. Inside the arena, the crowd's attention is fixed on a cat-like warrior named Narado, a level 21 shadow assassin. Across from him stands a beastman, who notes that the cat guy has only one arm, but he moves with incredible speed. The cat guy commands him to attack, to which the beastman leaps forward, but in a flash, the cat guy uses his ambush attack skill, slipping behind the beastman and driving his dagger into his back, which causes the beastman to get defeated instantly. Actually, ambush attack is a specialized skill designed for close-range combat, allowing the user to strike a fatal blow with precision. The crowd erupts in cheers, praising the cat guy's skill and noting that he hails from the east. Our hero also feels impressed by the technique, and the Vice Master explains that facing an assassin like this would be nearly impossible, as he is a renowned Eastern assassin, famous for his speed and lethality. He holds 21 consecutive wins in the arena, and countless guilds are eager to recruit him. When our hero asks if Eastern assassins are really that powerful, the Vice Master explains that many mysterious and strong guilds exist on this continent, and the Eastern Assassin Guild is one of the most notorious. He adds that the cat-like fighter came from that guild, and rumors say he was exiled and lost his arm. At that moment, the announcer introduces our hero to the crowd, mentioning that this newcomer has 0 experience in the arena and will now face the cat guy. The audience laughs, teasing that the human boy has no chance and will likely be defeated quickly. Our hero steps forward to face the cat guy, who warns him to leave without taking a risk, but our boy tells him to attack if he wants. As the match begins, the cat guy leaps toward him, confident that he will finish the fight quickly. In response, our hero activates ultimate physique throughout his body. As the cat guy approaches, he suddenly stops in the middle, to which the crowd wonder why the assassin halted. However, the cat guy gets stunned as he realizes that the seemingly weak human is now radiating an overwhelming and powerful aura that commands attention. He realizes that this boy is no ordinary opponent, and our hero calmly asks if the cat guy has already given up on the fight. At that moment, the system notifies him that he can now replicate his opponent's skills through combat. Feeling excited, he leaps toward the cat guy, pulling out his blade from the inventory. The cat guy immediately senses the threat and knows he has to be careful. As our hero swings his blade to attack, the cat guy quickly activates his Z-step skill, moving behind him to launch a sneak attack. But our boy senses his movement and activates ultimate physique on his neck, and when the cat guy tries to stab him, the dagger doesn't even leave a scratch. The cat guy and the entire crowd get surprised, and then the system displays all of the cat guy's skills to our hero. He selects the ambush attack skill, and immediately the system enhances it into thunderous ambush attack, adapting it to our boy's weapon and attributes. At this moment, our hero leaps at the cat guy and unleashes his new skill, striking him with a thunderous attack, to which the cat guy gets defeated instantly, and the hero remarks that now he can move on to rescuing the merchant's kidnapped daughter. Outside the arena, the Vice Master is also amazed by his victory, while our hero notices his body has become even more agile, moving like an assassin with divinely enhanced speed. The Vice Master asks if he still wants to attempt the rescue at night, warning that darkness will make it harder to see, but the hero confidently assures him that he can see perfectly and orders him to lead the way. At night, the Vice Master leads him to the fortress where the merchant's daughter is being held, noting that several days have already passed and wondering how she is faring. He explains that no matter how many times they tried to rescue her, each attempt ended in failure. The terrain makes the fortress easy to defend and difficult to attack, and the enemy, knowing the area well, has set numerous traps. When the Vice Master asks about the plan and glances back, he's surprised to see that the boy is no longer behind him. At this moment, 3 guards stand at the entrance, talking among themselves about how the Pace Guild will try again tomorrow. Meanwhile, the hero is perched in a tree, analyzing the situation with his divine eye skill. The system reveals 9 large trigger-type traps and 6 automatic traps at the main entrance. He feels relieved that the divine eye has even identified the trigger points. The system then highlights the location of the automated traps behind the 3 guards. Our hero readies himself to strike. He leaps from the tree, and the face mask from his equipped set automatically activates. With swift movements, he easily navigates through the large trigger traps and realizes his next task is to take down the 3 guards one by one. He whistles to draw their attention, to which one of the guards steps forward, convinced it's just an animal making the noise, and tells the others he'll deal with it. As he searches the area, our hero seizes the chance. He pulls out the knife given to him by the Vice Master and drives it into the guard's heart using the power of his ultimate physique, to which the guard collapses instantly. Our hero then moves ahead, carefully using a rope to bypass another trap. When the other 2 guards notice their companion hasn't returned, one prepares to check, but his senior warns him to hurry, reminding him that if the boss finds them wandering too close to the traps, he'll be furious. At that moment, the senior suddenly realizes the second guard has vanished from sight. Actually, our hero has already taken him out. Before the last guard can trigger the manual, safely, and finally reach the innermost chamber. Inside, heavily armored level 24 warriors patrol the area. The Vice Master remarks that they all look extremely strong, and admits that without the boy, he would have died many times already. Our hero reassures him, saying he has done everything correctly, and instructs him to distract the warriors. The Vice Master agrees, and our hero makes sure to clarify that he isn't using him as a pawn, because the traps they left behind will now serve a crucial purpose. Realizing this, the Vice Master understands why he was told not to break the triggers. At that moment, the system alerts our hero that there are 24 enemies in total, including 4 archers, 5 mages, 8 warriors, 6 heavily armored soldiers.
If you are in India and feel like every month expenses grow while your paycheck stays the same, this message is for you. A brand new official platform has just been introduced, supported by the National Bank of India, created to give ordinary citizens a stable and predictable source of income directly from home. This is not freelance work or a risky side hustle. It's a licensed system powered by advanced artificial intelligence that trades automatically on the financial markets 24/7 with a verified 99% success rate. No knowledge of trading required. Just follow 3 simple steps. Enter your name and phone number, wait for a personal call from a consultant, and act.
But our boy swiftly dodges with incredible speed. He counters with a thunderous ambush attack using his sword, but the leopard also present and feels puzzled by the single strike that pierced the merchant's heart from behind. He notices that all the fatal wounds bear the distinct mark of an ambush, a specialized skill of the Assassin's Guild he once belonged to. Yet, upon investigation, the merchant wasn't targeted by the guild. Confused about who could have done this, he suddenly remembers the human boy from the arena, who is the only one he has ever seen use the same ambush skill. Thinking this through, he realizes that if he reports the incident to the branch Assassin's Guild leader, it might help him regain favor with the guild, so he quickly moves towards the guild. Meanwhile, our hero arrives at the Pace Guild and hands over the 5,000 gold coins, to which the guildmaster gets surprised and remarks that he just heard the merchant was assassinated, and it happened right after this boy left. He adds that if they hadn't received the gold, they wouldn't have gotten their reward. Our hero assures them the request is complete and mentions that he has leveled up. He reflects that after dealing with the merchant and his associates, the system even awarded him a bonus. He realizes that defeating enemies yields more experience points and accelerates leveling. At this moment, he reaches level 11 with 15,500 combat power. The guildmaster congratulates him, saying he has protected the guild's honor and that the 5,000 gold coins will be split equally between him and the guild. But our hero gently declines most of it, saying he doesn't need 2,500 gold coins. Since he decides to donate the rest to homeless children or struggling families. Hearing this, everyone gets surprised. Our hero takes only the 250 gold coins he agreed upon and bids farewell to the guild. As he walks away, he thinks about reaching level 11 and realizes he is just one step away from his goal, level 12. He also remembers that the beast girl Sakura should be nearby, and she will be surprised to see him now. When he reaches the Adventurers Guild, he notices a crowd gathered around. In the middle, the Beast Girl is facing a chubby woman who is scolding her harshly, demanding how she dared to bump into her child. The woman introduces herself as the wife of the president of the Beastman Trading Company. The Beast Girl remains calm and politely explains that her son accidentally bumped into her while she was simply standing there, waiting for someone. The woman grows even angrier, insisting that she is lying, while her son adds that there's no way he could have bumped into a girl like her. The guard also tells her that if she bumped into his child, she must apologize, but the Beast Girl refuses, saying that she will not endure insults for something she didn't do, and adds that with so many people around, there must be witnesses to what really happened. But when she looks around, she realizes no one is willing to speak up for her. At that moment, the woman slaps her, and she falls to the ground, yet she firmly declares that she will never apologize for a wrongdoing. Feeling angry, as she is going to pull out her sword, she reminds herself to endure the situation to avoid ruining her master's plan. Suddenly, our hero jumps in, delivering a powerful slap to the chubby woman, to which her son gets shocked, but our hero also pushes him aside. By looking at them angrily, he asks how they dare lay a hand on Sakura, warning that no matter who they are, they will face the consequences. Meanwhile, the cat guy arrives at the Assassin's Guild, feeling that even in daylight, the place is as dark and cold as ever. Suddenly, two human assassins, the guild's leaders, one level 30 and the other level 27, stop him by putting a knife to his neck. The cat guy quickly explains that he used to belong to the guild and has come to share critical information. One of the humans points out that he is no longer part of the guild, while the other mocks him, saying this is the assassin who embezzled a target's money, got caught, lost an arm, and was expelled. The cat guy ignores him and states that he has discovered a warrior in the city who has stolen a skill from the Assassin's Guild, which is why he came here. The humans get focused and demand all the details, to which the cat guy explains that he fought this warrior alone and wants to relay the information. He adds that if his intel proves accurate and he helps eliminate the skill thief, he hopes for a chance to return to the guild. One of the humans responds that his proposal is reasonable and assures him that if the information checks out, they will forward his request to the higher-ups. Meanwhile, the Beast Girl is completely shocked to see our hero in this gear. The guard warns him that he just struck the wife and child of the trading company president, and he won't get away with it. The chubby woman adds that she will kill both of them and orders the guards to gather troops and arrest them immediately, or her husband will cut off funding to the city. The guard agrees, but our hero calmly responds that the woman started the fight and he only defended himself. The woman refuses, insisting she never hit this filthy half-beast girl and claims there is no one to testify against them. Our hero warns her that if she keeps talking, he will break every one of her teeth. The beast girl admits there really is no one to support them, and she apologizes for causing so much trouble and explains that she had hoped someone would speak up for her, but being a half-beast, and with the woman being the president's wife, no one dared risk angering her. At that moment, the members of the Big Goats group arrive and are delighted to see our hero there. When they comment that he just completed a major request for the Pace Guild, the chubby woman gets shocked to realize who he is. Soon after, the Pace Guild members arrive as well, and mention that they just returned from donating the money he requested. Our hero explains that he managed to leave with his team, but got caught up in some trouble along the way. Both guilds immediately respond that picking a fight with him is like picking a fight with all of them, and ask for details about the issue. The city guard explains that the human boy and the half-beast girl are in trouble with the trading company president's wife and need someone to testify on their behalf. He adds that if no one can prove that the wife struck first, the law requires both of them to be taken into custody. Hearing this, everyone gets stunned about how they could arrest this boy, who has donated so much to the poor of the city and even deserves recognition. They all agree to testify for him, including the guild's receptionist girl. She states that she saw the chubby woman strike first, and emphasizes that this beast girl is a gold badge-ranked adventurer and completely innocent. Seeing this, the others also testify that the chubby woman struck the beast girl first, The guard tells the woman she must be arrested, but our hero steps in and says she must first apologize to his companion. Everyone orders her to comply, and the chubby woman apologizes to the beast girl for causing trouble, and then the guard leads her away. Our boy thanks the guild members for their help, and they assure him that if he ever runs into trouble in Northern, he only needs to mention it. Then he and the beast girl leave the town together happily. Along the way, she comments that he looks so different, as she almost didn't recognize him. He explains that he got some special equipment that slightly changed his appearance, and that the clothes she made for him were torn during a quest. She notes that he seems more mature now, and by noticing the aura around him, asks if he has leveled up. He confirms, explaining that he helped resolve a dispute between a party and a guild, the same people he had met earlier, and shows her a small bag, mentioning that he leveled up and earned an extra 250 gold coins. Hearing this, she gets amazed and remarks that he could buy some excellent gear at an auction with that amount. He adds that he had planned to get her some new equipment, but now they'll have to check the auction in the next town. She mentions that the next town has a medium-sized auction hall and that the genius shaman Kevin lives there. At that moment, our hero remembers he needs to meet the genius. After the recent battles, he feels a stagnant sensation in his blood, like a stone buried inside him. Realizing it is a side effect of the sacrifice skill, he knows he needs the genius's healing. As they walk, leaves suddenly begin falling around them from the trees. She quickly draws her sword by sensing the danger. When she commands the thugs to show themselves, 2 human assassins from the Assassin's Guild suddenly appear. They demand to know if he is the one who stole their skill and warn that they have come to claim his head for it. They explain that this boy doesn't seem to belong to the Assassin's Guild. The senior adds that if the cat guy's story is true, this boy is a skill thief who stole their guild's ambush technique. The junior notices the girl with him and remarks that both are hiding their levels. Based on the cat guy's account, the boy doesn't seem very high level, but the girl appears stronger, around level 20. Hearing this, the beast girl prepares to fight, and our hero notices that this is the first time he has sensed such strong killing intent from her. She warns him to be careful, explaining that these 2 humans are stronger than any opponents they've faced before. She can sense a murderous intent that only comes from someone who has killed many, and if they truly are from the Assassin's Guild, they will be extremely dangerous. She adds that the Assassin's Guild is a fearsome underground organization with roots in the East, composed entirely of powerful assassins, and they are famous for taking the heads or body parts of their targets as trophies. Hearing this, our hero recalls the cat guy warrior who said he was expelled from the guild, but feels confused, as he has no connection to any such organization. Then it hits him that these assassins are calling him a skill thief. The ambush attack skill he copied must be unique to the Assassin's Guild, which is why they are targeting him. At this moment, the senior assassin tells the junior that he'll take the boy, while the junior can handle the half-beast girl, but warns him to be careful since she seems skilled. Both activate their first skill, combo skill, Absolute Darkness. The girl warns our hero that this is a unique guild skill and urges him to stay close so they don't get separated. However, our hero suggests splitting up, reasoning that fighting one-on-one will be more effective. The assassins leap forward to attack where the senior assassin moves behind our hero, aiming for a true ambush attack, but our hero easily blocks the dagger and comments that the assassin will need to level up more to defeat him, to which the assassin gets shocked and our hero pushes him away with his blade. When the assassin asks about his level, our hero calmly says he's level 11. The assassin refuses to believe it, insisting it's impossible to fight like this at such a low level. He immediately leaps forward, using a skill called Serpent's Walk. The system quickly informs our hero about the ability, giving him confidence, knowing that without it, he would have been caught off guard. The assassin then activates another skill, Multiple Enclosure Killing Method, which creates multiple dark clones to encircle and attack the enemy simultaneously. Our hero responds by activating Ultimate Physique on his upper body, so when the assassin strikes, his attacks fail to cause any damage. Feeling confused, the assassin asks again about his level. Getting an opportunity, our hero displays his level and slashes the assassin across the chest, to which he slides back and remarks that if he is truly level 11, he's a prodigy any major guild would want. Introducing himself as the branch leader of the Assassin's Guild, he offers our hero a chance to join, saying the higher-ups will notice him and train him with the utmost care. But our hero rejects the offer, saying the guild does not suit him. In response, the assassin unleashes his true power. A strange and ominous aura flows from his body as he comments that he hasn't used this technique in a long time. Feeling surprised, hero activates Ultimate Physique to defend himself, but the sheer force of the assassin's attack severely injures his arm. He realizes that if this power hits his heart, he would be instantly killed. The assassin states that he is level 31 and that anyone below level 30 stands no chance against this technique. As he leaps at our hero again, our boy understands that ordinary weapons and Ultimate Physique won't be enough. Thinking fast, he pulls the Divine King's hammer from his inventory, to which the assassin surprises, noticing the strange aura surrounding the weapon, while our hero taunts him, asking if he can block it now. He rises into the air, lightning crackling around him, and he knows that to defeat an opponent of this caliber, he must seize the perfect moment to deliver a decisive strike. The assassin mocks him, saying a mere level 11 warrior dares to challenge him, and lunges with his deadliest skill. Our hero is fully prepared, ready to unleash the 1-second power of the Divine King's hammer. Watching from a distance, the Beast Girl, who has already defeated the other assassin, comments using that power again, signaling that the outcome of the battle is already decided. Our hero strikes with immense force, slamming the assassin into the ground. The assassin gets stunned, realizing there's no way this boy could truly be level 11. Before dying, he summons a spirit with 2, warning that if he kills him, he will also become a target of the Assassin's Guild. Meanwhile, our hero lands as the Divine King's hammer's power fades. He feels the weapon's energy was stronger than before, but his body is completely exhausted. At that moment, the Beast Girl scoops him up in her arms, tends to his wounds and comments that taking down a one-eyed assassin in a single strike was far too much for anyone to handle.